Hello everyone, my name is Haevn, and today I am playing Cut to the Core. So this is about a 3-hour game, roughly. And it looked very interesting, so I mean, visually this is going to be a very different game. And that's why I picked it, and I think it's going to be very intriguing and interesting to play overall. But before I start, I was playing the Higurashi When They Cry games, and I stopped playing it because it felt like it was going nowhere. While it's a visual novel and I was enjoying it, it was very slow. Like it was getting really slow, and I was just like, I looked to see how much progress I made into the game, because I like to do that when I go on YouTube and I'll look at somebody else's like long play and see where I am. And I was barely an hour into it, and I was like, this game is going to be way too long for me to play. It's going to be a long ass series, and it's going to be very boring. So if you guys want to play that yourself, I'll put it in the description below, or in those videos, and you can play them yourself. But I just felt like it was going to be too long and too boring, and I just wasn't going to be a part of that. I want something that's going to get me engaged. So I figured, why not play this? So I started on this one. So I guess let me check everything, make sure everything's good. We want to turn some certain things down. I want to turn the music down. All right. Basic text. So this is probably another visual novel, but this one's gonna be a lot better, I hope. It looks very interesting, so I don't know, we'll see what happens here. So let's do this. I feel like this is gonna be a lot better of a visual novel. The story does not require interaction. You can set the experience's pace with the text speed and auto delay settings. You can control playback with the autoplay, skip, and okay, I understand. So there's not. Okay. So this is just a pure visual novel as well, I guess. They're going to love you, Daniel. You're going to be so good. I just have to change you. Just a little bit. Now hold still. This guy is going through a transformation. Cut to the core. I love the visual style because it reminds me of obviously comic books. So chapter 1, Dreams. Daniel wakes from his dream. Jesus. He reached for the glass of water on his bedside table and knocks it over. Shit. He tries to avoid the glass as he steps off the bed, and he plants his foot on an upturned shard and falls. Shit. Damn, man. Great. He stumbles down the hall, leaving a trail of blood behind him. He glances at the controlled chaos in his office by By reflex, his half-conscious brain itemizes the fine points of tomorrow's deal for the dozenth time. No, focus on the wound. Daniel has done what he can. The rest is up to Jack. Daniel hops to the bathtub and he sits down on the edge. He pulls a shard out of his foot. The wound is shallow, but blood flows freely. He gets to work on a bandage. Something catches his eye. Something across the hall in his workshop. He stops, transfixed. It's not really a workshop anymore. It's been usurped by Jack's more pressing business ventures. But the stacks of patent applications and financial documents aren't what had caught Daniel's eye. A long-forgotten block of clay sits on the workbench, still wrapped in plastic. His waking eyes have ignored it for months, even years, but in this dreamlike state, it seems to glow with potential. Something's about that. There's something with that clay. It speaks to him, telling him how to shape it. He tears the plastic apart and carves into the clay. Blood pools on the floor around his damaged foot. No matter. Daniel knows he should attend to his wound. He knows he should be resting, The big day is tomorrow, the culmination of years of hard work. But that life seems distant and insubstantial next to the clay under his bloody fingers. You're going to be a good one, I can tell. You're going to be so good. The next day, Daniel drums the steering wheel on his parked car. The parking officer puts a second ticket on the windshield. He barely notices. His eyes are glued to the upscale lobby of a nearby office building. He reads and rereads the golden words Scott & Barker, LLP. It's the name of the firm that's going to make him rich. Assuming Jack closes the deal, that is. He checks the time again. Jack's over schedule. Schmoozing, maybe? Any news? Jack's still up there. All good? He's got this. Get him home by 7. You find a date for tonight's celebration? I did. You'll like her. She's an artist. Good enough for my gallery? Don't answer that. See you soon. Later. Daniel returns his attention to the lobby and feels his first stab of worry. What's taking so long? Jack swings his briefcase as he struts through the hall of Scott and Barker. His positive energy is infectious. He steps into the elevator and leans against the railing. The doors close. Jack drops his briefcase. His hands are shaking. He tries taking a few deep breaths, but he can't seem to calm himself. He kicks the door, kicks it again, pounds on it until his fist leave dents in the stainless steel. Oh, it must be stressful. He hears a ding and quickly pulls himself together. The door is open. Daniel sees Jack exit the lobby and his eyes light up. Oh, it didn't go so well. They fade again when he sees the look on Jack's face. After years working together, Daniel can tell when he's rattled. Jack throws the parking tickets away, then opens the driver's side door. Did they close? Get out. I'm driving. Daniel pores over a stack of documents from Jack's briefcase, reading under his breath. You were supposed to walk out of there with a check. What happened? Nothing. They're still buying our company. This is just a formality. Making sure our ducks are in a row so they don't waste time with unresolved lawsuits, yada yada. Our ducks are in a row, aren't they? Right. So nothing's really changed. We'll still be rich, just a little later than we expected. A week, tops. Maybe 2. I warned you not to treat this as a done deal. You also warned me not to start this company in the first place. You warned me about everything. If I listened, we'd be unemployed. I guess we'll see. What are you going to tell Sophie? The question seemed to dent Jack's armor. He doesn't answer. He pulls into a drive-thru restaurant. Why are we stopping? Chicken wings. Your operation's in 12 hours. You're supposed to be fasting. I need to rip something apart with my bare hands. It can either be you or chicken wings. Take your pick. Daniel knows not to press the issue. Jack does what he wants. They wait for the line to move. In the silence, they can feel the promised elation of selling their company draining from them like water from a punctured jug. Jack, what are you going to tell Sophie? Jack had already pushed the question from his mind. He grips the wheel and takes a deep breath. Sophie will see through his bluster. She'll cut straight to the truth, the one Jack is afraid to say out loud. The deal is dead, and with it, every hope and promise and reassurance Jack had made for the past 3 years. This wouldn't be the first time he disappointed her, or the first time she helped him pick up the pieces, but he feels it in his gut that it would be the last. No, Jack wills himself not to go there. He'll work it out. He always does. Why spoil the evening? If she asks, the same thing you tell her. Everything's going to be fine. Later, at Jack and Daniel's apartment building. Jack walks up to his apartment door, sifting through the mail. He spots an envelope with final notice printed on the front. He tucks it in his pocket. He rests his hand on the knob. An image flashes through his mind. Oh, dear Sophie, call Daniel. Do not come in. I love you. Oh, she must already know. She has to. Violently, he summons the strength and walks in. Sophie boils pasta on the stove. She's alight with energy, dancing to the music, clearly looking forward to tonight's festival. Oh, I guess she doesn't know. Jack comes up behind her and kisses her neck aggressively. How'd it go? Shut up. Jack starts taking off her clothes and pushes her towards the bedroom. She laughs. Are we rich? Shut up. What happened? I told you to shut up. Huh. He kicks the bedroom door closed. The pasta boils over. He's gonna avoid it as best as he can. Meanwhile, across town. You hear that breathing? Someone watches Jack and Sophie climb into bed. They reluctantly pull their eager eyes from the telescope to answer. Package is ready. Want me to drop it off at your place? The clinic. Back exit 1 a.m. Awfully public. How about your place instead? Clinic. I'll disable the cameras. You're the boss, princess. But someday you gotta show me your setup. I'm destroying this phone. Have another one ready when we meet. Ciao, princess. As the evening sun begins to set, Jack stares at the ceiling, lost in thought. The kitchen stereo continues to blast 80s hits. He hates this song. It's been a while since we pulled that off. How's the knee? I'll live. She massages his leg. It's a familiar routine. Thank God it's over. The past few years have been rough, Jack. Losing the savings, the gallery. She stops when she reaches the tattoo on his ankle. Sometimes I forget about this monstrosity. I'm gonna bribe Lacey to shave it off while you're under tomorrow. Don't you dare, or I'll get another one on my chest. Daniel won that bet fair and square. Oh shit, sorry. The food. Sophie throws some clothes on and runs out of the room. Jack hears a pan get thrown into the sink. Oh shit, that's Ben and Stacy. Just a minute. What are you doing? Get up. Alright. Sophie closes the bedroom door. Through the walls, Jack hears her greeting the guests. Minutes later. Wine's been poured, but plates are empty. Sophie scrambles to assemble a meal from the charred remains of dinner while Jack entertains Ben and Stacy at the table. I just gotta say, I look at what you've accomplished, where you came from, and it gives me hope for my boat company. Thanks, I think. I'm just saying you've come a long way. Sophie, that smells amazing. Damn, I'm okay. Need a hand? Would you? I'm afraid this little project got away from me. Daniel follows Vanessa out of the elevator. He struggles with a lumpy package wrapped in butcher paper and twine. Living in the same building as your boss sounds like torture. We were roommates for years. Separate floors is improvement, trust me. I swear you two are codependent. Maybe. Listen, that stuff I mentioned about the deal not happening, that's just between you and me, okay? And Jack, right? Right, but just don't mention it. Vanessa rolls her eyes and rings the doorbell. I feel like she's gonna say something. Also, if it sounds like I sound congested, I kinda am. And there's two reasons. I think I'm sick, for one. And for two, I had some... it's better to show you. I have this. And I was eating some of this. Mrs. Renfro's ghost pepper salsa. This shit is hot, okay? I can only eat bits and pieces at a time. So my sinuses are probably all over the place. They don't know what to make of what's going on right now. So I'm sorry for that. Is there any way to save? Yes, there is. Empty. Sorry. That's Daniel. Jack, will you get that? Come in. Wouldn't have come nearly as far without this genius. Hey. Hi, welcome. Oh, is that a new piece? Here, here. She greedily accepts the package, torn between opening it now and attending to the ongoing emergency in the kitchen. This is Vanessa. Of course, forgive me, Sophie. Hi, I'm Vanessa. Hello, I'm Lacey. Jesus, where'd you come from? Sorry, just slipped in behind you. Everyone takes their seats as Sophie brings out a steaming platter of Italian food. Sorry it's so late, Jack's fault. Always is. A puff of smoke attacks Sophie from the other end of the table. It belongs to Vanessa's long pink cigarette. Excuse me, put that out. Vanessa shrugs and grinds it into her dinner plate, then drops the butt into her wine. Sophie fumes but moves on. Vanessa kind of comes off as a bitch, honestly. Give me a second. I gotta see if I can find something to blow my nose. It's hard to breathe. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Jack piles food onto his plate. Lacey lightly touches his arm. Stop. No food. You'll aspirate and sue me for malpractice. Jack holds her gaze for a moment, then puts the serving fork back down. Alright. Wow, Lacey. You actually got him to do something. What's your secret? She's prettier than you. Whoa. Jack winks at Lacey. After the meal. Daniel's package is splayed open on the coffee table. Sophie sits back and takes it in. She's impressed. It's not his best work, but it's compelling, morbid. Like all of Daniel's sculptures, the work resembles a cracked geode. From most perspectives, it appears to be an unworked lump of clay, but from the right angle, an inner world of complex details can be seen. It's no Barnaby, but it's good to see him working again. I hear you're an artist too. Yep. What's your medium? Besides digital? Menstrual blood lately. Wow. I've never understood that, honestly. I mean, I know it's probably going to be a bad comparison and I'm probably going to get heat for it, but someone painting with their menstrual blood is like me cutting my wrist and painting with my wrist blood, or it's like me spitting on a piece of paper and painting with that. It makes no sense, honestly. It's just gross at the end of the day, and it's a health hazard, I think, if anything. So that's just me. I just look at it as moreover disgusting. I mean, even just painting with like shit, like scat painting, it's just gross. And maybe I don't understand that art and I never will. But anybody who paints with any type of bodily fluid of any kind is just, it's not supposed to be. It's not meant to be, So that's just me personally, Not sure Daniel told you. I run a gallery downtown. I'd like to see your work. I'm interested in anything unique. We're a gallery, right? It's a little traditional. That's just it. We've been financially precarious these past few years, and that translates to playing it safe. But now that we're on solid ground again, I'm shaking things up a bit. Handpicking artists, doing proper promotion. I want art that gets a reaction. Look, Sophie, I believe in radical honesty. Sure, absolutely. Artists don't need parasites to hoke their work to rich assholes who hide it in their mansions. Not anymore. Nobody you know hangs anything that matters on their wall. Nobody who matters hangs art at all. I see. Not trying to offend, just speaking truth. I mean, to a degree. I mean, rich people just buy art because it's like a tax break, I suppose. Oh, I'm going to buy this multi-million-dollar piece, just so I don't have to pay the taxes or whatever, or something like that. I'm not rich. I don't know for sure, but I know that rich people don't buy art because they enjoy the piece. I mean, they'll look at it and say, oh, this is a great piece, but they'll never look at it again. They'll put it up on their wall and they'll never appreciate it. I can look, sometimes I look at the posters that I have on my wall and, there's a lot of history to them I see, and I can appreciate the history behind what's on my walls. But some rich people don't. Like I said, it's just, they put it in their mansion In a mansion too, by the way, that they probably only visit once a year, or if even once a year, you know? And it's like, it's just, what's the point, you know? What's the point? But for them, it's like I said, it's potentially a tax break. So I can see where Vanessa's coming from. Rich people don't care about art anymore. It's not the 80s anymore. It's not the 70s. It's not the 80s. Nobody cares about that kind of stuff. Not unless it's like modern day art that, like, you know, someone who's very important, like Banksy. You know, like people appreciate Banksy. You know, that kind of stuff. Of course, dear. You're not the first young artist to hit me with the hot take. You know, here's my card if you change your mind. Nobody does cards either. Plenty of people do cards. I promise you. Vanessa gets up. Lacey, right? Your dress is falling apart. She heads to the dining room. Vanessa's kind of a bitch, I will say that. Vanessa's right. The stitches on Lacey's shoulders are coming loose. Drat. Here, I'll fix it. Follow me. Sophie leads Lacey into the bedroom. She seems prickly. She seems like a bitch. Me and Sophie are on the same page here. But honestly, she's right. I may have missed my window. I've been out of the game for too long. Finding artists is going to be tough. Not necessarily. You just gotta find not necessarily big name artists. You need to find smaller artists. Those are the ones you need to target because those are the ones that have true passion. And I promise you that. It's like like the film industry and the gaming industry. The big names don't really care about the art anymore because it's just money to them. I mean, I won't say that entirely because there are people who have dreams and aspirations, but the overarching picture is that at the end of the day, some artists and some just people in the entertainment industry just don't really care about the art anymore, you know? And so it's hard to find someone worth, getting their art and putting it, in your museum. But if you get like small time work, people will really appreciate that. Like it's just one of those things that, you really need to see, you need to take a step back and have perspective. Like I would rather, for me, if I had a museum, I would rather have people that aren't well known because then you can build them up. Instead of someone who's already well known and they're asking like millions of dollars for their piece to be in your museum, that's just me. Will Daniel be will Daniel be doing another show? If I can coax him out of his shell. She plants Lacey in front of the floor-length mirror and pulls a sewing kit from the dresser drawer. All right, hold still. Sophie pins and reattaches the loose cloth with the assured hands of an artist. This is making me nostalgic. Before I met Jack, I used to sew my own clothes, but I haven't touched a needle in years. No time. Same. The clinic has been crazy. Didn't have time to shop for anything, so I tried to tailor this one. I should have known better. I have the worst luck with dead matter. Dead matter? Is your luck better with living matter? Oh yes, flesh speaks to me. Lacey has a faraway look in her eyes. It's like she's fallen into a trance. Despite the sounds of friends and safety just a few feet away, Sophie feels a chill. Some deep instinct tells her to leave the room, but she swallows it and continues to sew. Speaks to you. That's why I'm such a good surgeon. It tells me just where to cut. Sophie realizes that Lacey is staring at her bed. At the clear evidence of her earlier tries with Jack, which had totally slipped her mind, she blushes. Uh-huh. Does Jack's flesh speak to you too, then? Of course, I'm his doctor. Ouch. Oops. There we go. All done. Lacey's back to her normal self. She checks Sophie's work in the mirror and smiles. Thank you. Where's the restroom? Into the hall, to your right. Sophie quickly pulls up the sheets and kicks her discarded clothes under the bed. Feeling strangely violated. Yeah. Meanwhile, Ben's on his 5th glass of wine and in the middle of an aggressive sales pitch. Jack fiddles with a toothpick and shares an uncomfortable look with Daniel. It's practically a health benefit. I'm sure Daniel could find a way to write it off. Where the hell am I going to keep a yacht? It's just a gullet, not a ocean liner. I keep mine at the marina. I don't know. I get really seasick. Oh, you get over that in no time. Maybe Daniel's interested. Yeah, 2.4 mil? That's a drop in the bucket now. Well... Come on, the first thing Lacey and I did when we inherited was go on a little spending spree. It's liberating. Being rich, it's like a muscle. You've got to learn to flex it. It's just that. They're not actually rich. What do you mean? We're rich, Jack? Sophie steps out of the bedroom, eyes glued on Jack as she approaches. What? We're rich now, right? As rich can be. So they signed today. Jack takes a moment to answer. What kind of question is that? Daniel. Everyone stops talking when they hear Sophie's voice, strained, desperate. Daniel doesn't answer, he's a deer caught in headlights. Jack urges him with a look. Everything's going to be fine. God damn it. Sophie storms back into the bedroom. Jack's guests stare in awkward silence. He's right. Sophie, it's just a formality, I guarantee. The bedroom door shakes the walls when it shuts. That sucks. Ben and Stacy don their coats as Daniel herds them out into the hallway. Everyone politely ignores the shouting they hear from inside the apartment. Another time. They leave. Vanessa stomps into the hall. God, let's find a club. How can you, after what you just did? You mean telling your friend Sophie what she had every right to know? She starts walking towards the elevator. She turns back when she realizes Daniel isn't following. Listen, I'm just gonna head down to my place, call it a night. He drove. While he's considering this, another shout erupts from the bedroom. Take a bus then. I'll blow you in the car. Daniel doesn't say anything. She twirls and leaves. Your work will be less boring if you got out more. Daniel sulks back into the apartment to grab his phone. I hate Vanessa. I'm sure she's gonna get what she deserves, but damn, man, like... I don't know, there's red flags, and Daniel clearly didn't see it. There was a ton of red flags with this chick, and he did not see that. All he cared about probably was she was attractive. I feel like I need to blow my nose again. But damn, like, how could Vanessa do that to them? Ruin a relationship, essentially. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna blow my nose again. Sorry. Well, if I am sick, I hate it. I hate it. He realizes that Lacey is still there, sitting quietly on the couch, hands in her lap. She gets up and makes ready to leave, while the shouting from the bedroom continues. Jack's not happy, is he? He could be. I don't know. Maybe if he jumped the rails for once, tried something different, he could be. Sorry, no, he's not happy. I get that feeling too. The anger has drained from Jack and Sophie's argument. Bitterness and disappointment remain. It's not the debt. It's not about money at all. Losing everything, it wouldn't be the worst thing. Christ, if we were poor again, maybe we'd have a real life. This isn't real? No, this is a fucking stage for Jack Weir's one-man show. And I'm a prop. Sophie opens a dresser drawer and pulls out a plastic bag containing a few dozen pills. She shakes them into her hand. A few tumble to the floor and scatter. She swallows 2 while Jack watches. That better be aspirin. You don't have a monopoly on relapses. Sophie picks up a framed photo of the 2 of them on vacation. She turns away from Jack and gazes at it. We talked about kids and a house yesterday. Were you ever going to tell me? Aye. Look, a patent firm. It's a tough business. Landscape's always changing. Christ, Sam had to bail me out twice. If Daniel had spent more time on clients, don't blame him. I'm sorry. Anyway, when the deal starts crumbling, I know, it's just what you do. I never lied, not really. I love the way the game is like, while it's just a still image, by moving their portraits, it kind of portrays that they're like kind of separated from each other. Like she's moving over here and he moved over there, but then she comes over here and then he goes over. It's really showing like that they're moving, and I love it. I love the animation style of this so far. I never lied. Not really. She takes off her wedding ring and places it on the bedside table. She lies down, still facing away from him. I'm going to bed now. Damn. Sophie sleeps sleeps a dreamless, drug-induced sleep. Jack enters the room and sits next to her on the bed. He strokes her hair for a bit. She's very beautiful in this light. He starts to cry, taking her wedding ring from the bedside table and kisses it. Breathes a little life into it. He places it on her ring finger. She stirs a bit but doesn't wake. Jack leaves her. That sucks. He really wants everything to work, and I understand. I really do. I understand what he's going through sometimes. It's like, because you see it sometimes. People are trying so hard. They so focused on their goals, and it. And I get where Sophie's coming from, but she also got to understand that not everything is going to work like that. It takes time, and I get it. They can't survive on time. They need money, and I understand. So early the next morning. I always wanted blue eyes. When I was younger, I begged my mother for some colored contacts. I have blue eyes, but I wanted bluer eyes. It's so ironic, honestly. Lacey examines Jack's eyes through the handheld optical device. The mood is clinical. She pockets the device and shifts closer to him. So, how's the knee? Lacey puts her hand on Jack's thigh and leans in to kiss him. Jack turns his head to avoid her. That's not why I'm here. I'm sorry. Oh, he's also having an affair. Well, fuck Jack. Oh, I thought after last night. I'm married, as married can be. Oh, okay, so maybe she kind of read the intentions wrong? I don't know. Lacey wheels her chair away and fills out some forms. I'm sorry. I should have seen someone else. Don't be silly. I'm the best there is. If it's any consolation, you will be seeing me naked in a few minutes. Actually, the anesthetist will. I'll just be seeing your knee. I'll try to make it pretty for you. She wheels back over to Jack, holding a tray with a prepared needle. She pulls up his sleeve. Thanks. Can I ask you a question? I don't know. Do you really think that Sophie can make you happy? Yeah, I do. Lacey injects him with the needle. He winces. You're lying. Maybe a little. She finishes with the shot and wheels back to her desk. What was that for? You'll see. Huh. Sophie starts awake and clutches her head. She sits up in bed, squinting against the bright light, and picks up her phone. Yes? Who? Yeah, Sophie Weir. She realizes that her wedding ring is back on her finger and holds her hand out to look at it, perplexed. Suddenly she goes pale and her voice drops to a whisper. What? Fire consumes Lacey's private practice. Lacey stands among a crowd in her streaked scrubs, watching it burn. She's trying not to laugh, but she can't help it. Lacey's crazy. Not long after. Oh, there's his leg. Right? That's him, right? Oh my god. Is that him? A dead body lays in the morgue, a sole victim of the tragedy at the clinic. It's a gruesome sight. An unrecognizable pulp burned by fire and crushed by falling debris. Oh no. A tattoo on the left foot is the only clue to its identity. Oh no. Well, Jack's dead, I guess. Damn. So we've had a lot happen here, and it's very interesting. So I want to keep playing this. Based on the last visual novel I would do in the Higurashi one, this has had more happen in the past 30 or so minutes than that other one has in the hour that I've played that last one. That's crazy. But can I save? I want to save it. Yeah, save. Alright. I guess these are memories, maybe? So, this is nice. It is. Come here. Huh, get away from me. This is a flashback, probably. Ugh. It's Jack. Jack's vision is hazy, but he sees familiar sights. Medical equipment. His hospital bed. A sink. Oh, I bet you I know what happened. I bet you she cut off his foot so that it makes it look like he died, and that body is somebody else's body. I bet you. Well, there's one foot. But apart from the rhythmic pulse of equipment, it's oddly silent. Hello? Jack hears a lock open. Then the creaking of footsteps. Someone is descending a staircase, a wooden staircase. Hey there, Jack. How are you feeling? It's Lacey. What happened? Did the surgery go okay? Everything went fine. How are you feeling? Why can't I move? Does your head hurt or anything? The strangeness of Jack's surroundings began to seep into his consciousness. This doesn't look anything like Lacey's clinic. Before he can process that thought, a delicious smell hits him. Lacey has brought a tray of food. Ah, fuck, is that dinner? Thank God, I haven't eaten in like a million days. Of course, yes. She sets the tray down on some equipment and approaches Jack with an optical device. She inspects his eyes. Jack resists slightly. He's becoming more lucid. Lacey? Is that like a room? Waiting recovery room? What the hell is this? Lacey continues to examine Jack, checking his pulse, his stomach, his ears as they talk. No, Jack. You're in my house. My basement, actually. But this area is really sterile. You're fine. You were supposed to fix my knee. We'll talk about that later. Jack tugs at the leather straps binding his arms. What are these? Is this kidnapping? Are you kidnapping me? No. Jack, please relax. You're disoriented. That's normal. Let me out of these straps, now. Hello? Anyone? Can anyone hear me? Stop it. Nobody can hear you. I'm not going to hurt you. Oh, this is going right. Or this isn't going right. Jack begins pulling on the straps so hard his veins bulge. Let me out of this thing. Jack suddenly goes silent. He looks down at his leg. Or rather, his leg. Okay, I meant to say legs earlier. But yeah, his leg. His left leg is gone, amputated at the knee. Oh God, oh God. He flies into an incoherent rage. Lacey runs to a cabinet and takes out a needle and vial. She fills the needle and dashes to Jack's IV. She injects it, hands trembling. Jack gives her a look of such hatred that she steps back involuntarily. Okay, hold on. I know things are getting good, but my nose is like clogging up again. Jesus. This is probably going to be an annoying playthrough, honestly, for me. Jack's words begin to slur as he loses consciousness. Lacey retreats from him as the drug takes effect, pale and rattled. Why? You crazy bitch, where are you going? Get back here. What did she think would happen? Get back here, bitch. Wait. Oh, Todd. Who's Todd? I put it here every night and pick it up before work every goddamn morning. That means you. Please, I don't. Oh, I think she's thinking about her parents. That means you or that stupid kid of yours moved it. Where is my goddamn badge? Please stop. Lacey holds her ears shut as Margaret's crying becomes a streak. Your stepfather said he kept seeing you sneak out at night. What is it you're doing? Lacey contemplates the consoler's question as she stares at the floor, lost in the carpet pattern. Some nights I can't sleep. I just go for walks. It's a warm summer night. Lacey lies curled up against a tree in her nightgown. Sounds of violence drift from her small home like rancid smoke. So we're learning more about Lacey here, and I guess it makes sense why she is the way she is. An ant scurries across the ground in front of her. face. She crushes it with her thumb, slowly pressing the life out of it. Makes me feel good. Better. The bell rings, startling Lacey from a reverie. Alright, let's keep meeting twice a week until... Lacey stands up and leaves before he can finish. She must be in school. Jack awakens. The first thing he sees is the food tray Lacey left behind. The sight drives all thought of danger and escape from his mind. His stomach gurgles. His eyes are vast with greed. He pulls against the leather restraints holding his arms. He can tell they weren't part of the bed's original design. Lacey must have added them. I can't breathe. Underneath the stretcher, the leather straps tear and fractures. To Jack's great surprise, his arms suddenly snap free. He stares at it for a moment, incredulous. He releases his other arm, then his chest. He's free. He steps off the stretcher, forgetting a critical detail, his missing leg. Oh no. Jack crashes to the ground, knocking the food tray over with his outstretched hand. He finds himself staring at the food. It's all over the floor, under his nose. Fine. Jack sucks the mashed potatoes up right off the floor, then tears up the steak and stuffs it in his mouth. For a moment, he savors the wonderful feeling of eating. He pulls himself up using an IV stand for balance, then looks around the room and tries to think. Okay, you can get... Pain, he winces and grabs his skull. The pain subsides, but he continues to rub his fingers through the scalp. He realizes a large patch of his hair is missing. Oh, he feels a small, crescent-shaped scar with stitches. What the hell? The wound is fresh. As he rubs his finger along its contours, he notices a large instrument on the nearby tray. It's a bone saw. He closes his eyes. Don't think about it. Just don't think about it. He leans on the IV stand and takes a ragged breath. Jack hears the door open and whirls around. Someone is descending the stairs. He looks around frantically for something to defend himself with. The bone saw? He picks it up and stands ready. Jack, I saw your vitals peak upstairs. Are you awake? Lacey reaches the bottom of the steps and turns to see Jack standing next to a stretcher. Oh, you're up. Jack activates the bone saw. It whirls to life. Please don't be mad. Jack tries to lunge for her, but he loses his balance and crashes to the floor again. He screams. Lacey screams too and bolts up the stairs. Jack uses the IV stand as a rudimentary crutch, dragging himself after her. He reaches the stairs just in time to see Lacey step through the basement door. It closes behind her. Hey! Jack throws his body against the basement door, expecting it to be locked. It flies open without resistance. He tumbles through, barely keeping his balance. No one is in the kitchen. Jack sees a cordless phone on the countertop and grabs it, tries to dial 911. There's no dial tone. Jack listens closely and hears breathing. Please listen. Jack slams the phone down in horror. Jesus! Fuck! He scrambles out of the kitchen. The foyer, multiple exits, a staircase leading up, windows. Front door, dead ahead. Outside is a populated residential street, busy with people and cars. Traffic. Salvation. He grabs the knob and turns unlocked, pulls the door open. Jack just stands there in the open doorway, head still on the knob. His scrubs sway a little in the breeze. A car drives past the house. He doesn't move. A drool drips from Jack's chin as he struggles to remember what he was doing. The whirling bone saw waves and froze at the end of his limp arm. He stares outside. It seems to remember. He grips the doorknob, tightens. He tries to step forward. Alright, hold on again. I'm sorry. Alright. I blew my nose like 3 times. Hopefully that worked. Relax. He stops moving. He turns to see Lacey walking down the stairs, pointing something at him. It looks like a remote control. Relax. Just relax. Jack sees the remote in her hand. He tries to flex his fingers to regain control. She descends the staircase with her arms outstretched cautiously. I know this is odd, but I thought it might help you adjust. Jack lunges at her. He catches her off guard and nearly slices her forehead open with the bone saw. She shrieks and backs away from the stairs, barely dodging another swipe. Jack swipes again and grazes her calf. Stop, please! She scrambles up the steps on all fours, trying to put distance between them. Jack climbs with astonishing dexterity. He closes the gap and grabs her shirt. He raises the bone saw high, ready to plunge it into her neck. His face is a mask of rage. Lacey's frantic fingers push a slider on the remote. Jack gurgles and loses all motor control. His grip on Lacey loosens, then he falls backwards. No! Lacey reaches to grab him, but misses by inches. Jack's limp body tumbles down the staircase as the world fades to blackness. Jack jerks awake with a shout. He's back in the basement. Lacey stands next to him, adjusting the IV bag. She steps back, startled. You fucking... Let me out of these things, Lacey. Listen. Sophie and I, we don't have money. We can't make a big ransom. Shh, that doesn't matter. Listen, I want you to listen to me. You made a mistake. We make them. We all make them. Jack, you had an accident, remember? I'm not saying there won't be repercussions. I'm just saying maybe I don't have to press charges. I'm glad you're calm. I want you to stay calm for me, okay? I have some bad news. I know I got carried away there. Jack, your arms and legs were broken really bad after that fall. I had to. No, shut up and listen to me. I'm giving you a way out of this. He cuts off. He sees something behind Lacey. Some kind of bend. You suffered an arterial laceration on one of your arms and a badly displaced open fracture in the other. It was going to get infected for sure. He struggles to peer past Lacey and gets a better look. Limbs. Oh no. She cut his arms and leg off. The bin is filled with limbs. As Lacey speaks, Jack remembers flashes of what happened. Ah. Oh. Your healthy leg was mangled and it didn't have any pins or anything to set it with. And your arms, I thought I could repair them, but there was nerve damage. I had to change you. Just a bit, but it's okay because you can focus on us now. Jack begins hyperventilating as Lacey continues. I know how stressful this business has been, especially lately. Now that it's not even an option, you can just forget about it, all about it. Put them back on. Please put them back on. It doesn't work that way. And Sophie, well, you can forget about. You leave her alone. There's no money. Don't you understand? This isn't about money. I can't ask for ransom if you're dead. She pulls out her phone and shows him a local news article. Sure enough, Jack Weir had died in a freak fire at Dr. Lacey Scalia's clinic. They all think it was an accident, even the insurance agencies. That's not to say I wasn't worried. I was on pins and needles waiting for a knock at the door. But it all just worked out. It's a fresh start, Jack. No one expects anything of you anymore. You're free. He throws up. Jack vomits. Why did you do this? Let's talk over dinner. Lacey grabs a cloth and starts toweling the vomit off Jack's chest. She realizes that he's looking at something behind her. She turns and sees the bin containing Jack's arms and legs. I'm so sorry. I meant to have these out of the way by the time you woke up. She runs to the bin and pulls a curtain so he can't see. Jack sees Lacey's silhouette cast against the curtain. She pushes his arms and legs into a meat grinder. He screams. Under the meat grinder where the flesh, bone, and blood falls in a wet pile, Jack's wedding ring clinks to the ground. It cleaves in two. A few days later in Sophie's empty gallery. Sophie's wedding ring shines on her finger. She leans on the counter, lost in one of the gallery's paintings. It's a fine painting, perfectly fine, just like every other painting in the gallery, just like every piece she's sold for years. Daniel steps through the gallery entrance. He carries a paper tote bag. How'd it go? 2.3 million. Sophie closes her eyes and thanks Jack under her breath. That's one thing I never had to double check, life insurance. It was all in order. I'm liquidating the company. Between that and the insurance, you should be. What about you? Me? Now that you're not on call putting out Jack's fryers. Oh, I'll be alright. Plenty of places need an accountant. So did these two people plan it? Was this all a plan? Well, I don't know. I feel like it is. I just don't know. Interesting. I feel like they're in on it, but I don't know. Like, I'm so curious. You complained for years you never had time to sculpt. Now you do. So of course you jump right into a sea of paperwork. Daniel's put off by the sudden offensive. If you'd rather be alone. No. I'm sorry. The doctor gave me some Valium. Is it helping? A little. What's in the bag? Oh, damn. What? It's just... He opens the tote bag and pulls out a bottle of wine. I thought we could have a glass for Jack. But I guess with that Valium you shouldn't. It was one pill. We did a lot worse in college. Sophie brings the bottle to the back room and opens it with a mounted corkscrew. She pours 2 glasses and hands one to Daniel. I feel like these two are going to get together. My memory is a little fuzzy on that. I want to do a show right away. Keep busy, but I don't want to deal with new artists just yet. I want to work with a friend. Sophie takes a long drink. The last time we did this, you should invest in something. You're still young. I don't know what scares you more, not being successful or being. I just want what's best for you. So get to work. We'll reopen in 3 months. The show will be in memory of Jack, who couldn't finish anything, not even middle age. She holds her glass up dramatically. To Jack. They take a drink in silence. Sophie sets the glass on the counter. It topples, but she doesn't notice. You're still young. She says it to no one in particular, tasting the words. This all feels like another one of his messes, like I could just clean it up and he'll walk through the door again. How can I miss someone who ruined my life so many times? Okay, so they don't know. Okay. Now, I don't know about Daniel. He might know. But Sophie, I don't think she knows. I'm pathetic. Daniel holds her. Her sob echoes in the empty gallery. I feel bad for Sophie. But I don't know if Jack knows. Please stop. Oh, that must be the mom and dad. Where'd you put it, bitch? Lacey stomps into her kitchen, where Todd holds her mother against the wall. She pulls a knife off the counter. She stabs Todd in the leg without hesitating. Fuck you. Todd drops her mother and grunts, more in surprise than pain. Cough. Lacey, your language. Really? Jesus, you stuck me. It's only in his leg, an inch or so. He pulls it out and chuckles. Lacey backs up against the wall, eyes wide. The reality of what she just did sinks in. He snatches her arm, pulls her close. Todd waves the bloody tip of the knife at her nose. Next time, don't bother unless you mean to kill me. Are you clear? Or are we clear? He tosses the knife into the sink. Something clatters against his boot, his badge. He plucks it from the floor and leaves. He must have had it later that night. Lacey stares at the glowing stars on the ceiling. The house is dead silent. Todd's car pulls into the drive. She hears the front door close a little too hard. He's drunk again. Todd drops his badge down on the counter. The cat attacks it, battering it around like a toy. It drops to the floor. Todd's so drunk that he doesn't notice. Oh, so maybe the cat's the one that did it. Lacey stares at her bedroom door. She's expecting a monster to step through. And then one does. He speaks to her in a low whisper. 12 stitches. Think that's pretty funny, don't you? Please, shut your fucking mouth. He closes the door behind him. Oh no. He must have molested her. Man. So Lacey had it bad. I could see how it got to this point now. I just don't like that it got to that point, I think we can all agree with that. Jack sleeps on his stretcher with an IV attached to his neck. The basement door opens. Lacey enters carrying a briefcase. She sets down her briefcase and pulls the remote from her pocket. She presses a button on it and Jack stirs. My head. Good morning. Lacey changes Jack's IV bag. He's trembling with pain. Tears begin streaming down his face. Is the pain bad? No. Jack's face was drenched with sweat. Lacey glances at a monitor displaying Jack's brainwaves. Look, maybe that nonsense worked on other people, but I'm a doctor. If something hurts, I can make it stop. She injects something into his IV. It only takes a moment for Jack's breath to normalize. He takes a deep breath. The pain is gone. Don't worry about eating while I'm gone. The IV has nutrients and everything in it you'll need. Lacey strokes his hair. Jack tries to avoid her. I'll be back around 3. Then we can... Stop it. Don't fucking touch me. Lacey, please listen. I can't. Lacey? Lacey circles around the bed, behind the bed, and pulls the remote back out. There's a large red knob on the center of the remote with a latched safety cover. She flips the cover up and slowly dials it to 1. Jack's brain visibly reacts to the monitor. Lacey walks around Jack to face him. So I was thinking we could watch a movie sometime. I guess so. Sure. It'll be strange seeing the clinic again. I used to hate my morning hours. A lot of my patients were seniors. The clinic? Jack furrows his brow. Something doesn't make sense here. But his confusion is swept away by a wave of fulfillment and comfort. Oh yeah? The ones that were internet savvy kept thinking they had diseases from places they never visited. I guess when you're old, you might forget where you've traveled. So, I'll be back this afternoon. She leans in to kiss Jack. He doesn't pull away this time. We've been happy before. Give us time, okay? Okay. So is Lacey an ex? And so because she's crazy, she couldn't get over him? And this is the result of it? I'm very curious. She leaves, closing the door behind her. Before she leaves the house, Lacey pulls a remote from her pocket and turns the knob down to 0. Jack's face twists in despair and he shudders. He begins to cry again, but this time with no one to see. His sobs are uncontrolled. Damn, I feel bad for Jack. Like, that's crazy. But you know what? I'm going to stop right here. No, I'm going to stop. Save. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here. I hate that it doesn't. Okay. Title. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here. This has been an interesting game so far. So this game is about Jack and Lacey, and I guess we're going to get bits and pieces of fuck, I forgot his girlfriend. Stacy and, or Sophie and Daniel. This game is very, I don't know. This is just a very interesting game so far, and I'm liking it. So I'm going to stop right here. It's been about an hour. So we will continue on in the next one. All right. So with that being said, hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Drink plenty of water, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right. So we are back with more Cut to the Core. Ah, damn it. I didn't get to read it. Oh, it's on auto. No. Back. Turn it off. Ah, fuck. Okay. I wish I could go back. Anyways, fuck. So apparently, I guess when you return to the game, it automatically sets it back on auto. So if you didn't read those before, just go back and look at them. I'll have to read them, I guess, when I go back and edit this video. But until then, let's continue on with this amazing but terrifying story. Doctor calls. So, hello? Hi, it's Sophie Weir. I need a refill on my diazepam, the Valium. Right, that's fine, Sophie, but I don't do refills over the phone like this. Why? You'll need to call the front desk and schedule an appointment. I don't feel like going out. Sophie, I prescribe medication based on need and symptoms. I just want to know where you're at. I don't feel like crying in front of other people in your waiting room right now. I can schedule you in whenever. You can come straight in. A remote session will be fine too. She hangs up. I don't fucking need this. Sophie gets on her hands and knees and searches for pills under the dresser. She spots one lying next to a dust bunny. She sits on the bed and swallows it dry. She sits with her eyes closed, willing the drug to take her pain away. When she opens them again, she sees the framed photo of her and Jack on vacation. She picks it up and takes it to the bathroom. She throws the framed photo into the bathtub and it shatters. She swings the medicine cabinet open, cracking the mirror. She grabs everything that belongs to Jack, razors, deodorant, toothbrush, facial wash, and throws it in the bathtub. Suddenly she stops. There's a prescription bottle with an old yellow label next to the back of the cabinet. Diazepam, Jack Weir. Take when needed for anxiety. Refills, 0. Sophie rattles the bottle. It's nearly full. Oh no, she's gonna go into like a drug-induced frenzy. Lacey sits on a burned stool in the wreckage of an examination room. Fire ravaged everything. The walls are charred black, the ground covered with blackened debris. She stares into space, lost in a daydream. A few years ago. This place is amazing. Congratulations. Thanks. So what's bothering you today? Your wrist again? Jack wheels his chair close and moves to kiss her. My toe. Yeah? I stubbed at something awful. How's Sophie? How do you think? Jack and Lacey pulled their clothes back on in the dark. It's weird. I feel cut off, like rules don't apply around you. I like it. So they did cheat. Okay. That makes sense. That makes total sense now. Hold on. I like you too. You don't judge. Thanks, I think. Can I ask you a question? Do you ever wonder, maybe if you weren't with Sophie? We'll never know. No, I guess not. Lacey stands and brushes the soot off her jacket. Package is ready. We seriously meeting at the clinic? Out back. And when they tear it down next week, what then? Next time, I'll come to you. You sure that's a good idea? I can take care of myself. You're the boss, princess. See you outside. I wonder who she's meeting. Daniel sits in his workshop and stares at another fresh block of clay. He stares and stares. Nothing. No spark. The clay just won't speak to him. He calls Sophie. This was a mistake. I'm just too busy. The liquidation's really time-consuming. Daniel keeps looking over his shoulder like the clay's gonna attack him. I'm sending Trent. Who? Trent. My dealer knows him. He'll help you out. Look, I really don't think drugs are the answer. No, idiot. My art dealer. Anyway, trust me. He'll get you going. She hangs up. Later that day. Daniel opens his door and sees a thin, curiously ageless man in a puffy jacket. The man extends his hand. Hi, Daniel? Hi, Trent Holloway. Yeah, alright. Daniel gives the hand a limp shake and gestures for Trent to follow. They step into the workshop. Trent looks at the fresh block of clay. Not bad. Kinda abstract. I haven't started yet. No shit. You got a bar? Daniel leaves and fixes a drink. Trent casually scans Daniel's living space, taking in details. He spots a trail of dried blood on the floor. It leads to a large puddle that has coagulated at the feet of Daniel's workbench. Daniel reappears with 2 glasses of bourbon. Thanks. He hands a glass to Trent without a word. They each nursed their drinks in silence for a moment. So, is this what you do? I don't know. What am I doing? You tell me. Trent just stares at him, confused. Okay, or tell me how you know Sophie. I don't really. My boss Fred knows her pretty well, though. He's her art dealer. You know Fred? Alright, well, this is really a matter of time, not motivation, so you don't really need to be here. You can tell her I said that. What are we talking about? Are you not here to, motivate me? Motivate you? What, like with money? Are you really this stupid, or are you just fucking with me? Hey, you invited me in. I'm still figuring out what the fuck is going on. Well, you're uninvited. Please go. Fine. Can I use the John at least? Daniel shrugs and gestures towards the bathroom. Trent passes Daniel to put his glass on the table. As he does, he mutters under his breath. Asshole. Daniel's patience is at an end. He grabs Trent by the sleeve and marches him towards the door. Okay, come on. Hey, take your hands off me. Trent tries to shake Daniel off, but Daniel's got 50 pounds on him. Get your fucking hands off me. Trent lifts his glass and smashes it into Daniel's head. Shards of glass scatter everywhere. Daniel falls backwards. Trent freezes in place. A trickle of blood drips down Daniel's temple. What the fuck? Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. Get out of here. Get out. Daniel's rage sent Trent scrambling for the door. He's outside before Daniel is back on his feet. Trent dives into the elevator and hammers the closed door button for his life. Daniel stumbles into the hall, shirt streaked with blood. Don't come near me, you psycho. You're the fucking psycho. The door closes. Trent leans against the elevator wall with an odd smile on his face. Daniel sits on the couch with an ice pack on his blood-encrusted temple. He dabs Neosporin on some cuts on his hand while trying to talk on the phone. He what? I said he fucking hit me for no goddamn reason. Broke a glass over my head. I'm blaming you for this. Man, look at Sophie though. She looks worse. No, you must be confused. Just a little. Look, if he shows up, don't let him in. I'm sure he was just saying something by me and said, what? I think he's probably like, what? Sophie, are you alright? Do you need some company? I'm fine. I'll call Trent tomorrow and tell him not to show, okay? Daniel stared at the blood on his fingers. Suddenly he turns towards a block of clay sitting in the workshop. Daniel? Okay? Sophie sits on the bed with the phone on the speaker. She devotes what's left of her attention to a movie playing on her laptop. Hello? I think maybe I want company after all. You there? Daniel hangs up. She shakes Jack's bottle of pills. It's almost empty. Something's not adding up with Daniel. Jack and Lacey watch a romantic comedy on the living room couch. The smell of popcorn fills the air. Jack is propped up with some cushions. Lacey nurses a Coke. Lacey laughs at the TV. Jack remains silent. Lacey hands Jack some popcorn. He eats it out of her hand. Are you okay? Yeah. Lacey reaches down into her pocket and produces the remote. She cranks the knob up to 5, halfway to its max. Jack laughs quite hard at an on-screen gag. Too hard. She turns it back to 2. Jack's laughter subsides. His stare becomes more vacant, back to a 3. He laughs at another joke. I know what you're doing. What? You're changing me. You're making me happy somehow. I should be mad, but I'm not. I don't know. I just like it. Good. Don't stop, okay? They turn back to the TV. Jack laughs, then coughs. He's got a kernel stuck in his throat. Cough. Need a cough drink. Lacey tips her Coke bottle to his lips. Hold still. The drink sprays everywhere, dousing both of them. Lacey drops the bottle in surprise. I'm sorry, It's fine. Christ, what a mess. Can't even hold my own drink. Can't even clean myself. Jack takes a sobbing breath. He's about to cry. Lacey acts quickly, turning the knob back to a 5. He relaxes. Oof, it's okay. I'm okay. Just a spilled drink. Have you got a towel? I've got something better. Clever. This is temporary. We still need a lot of equipment, but it's hard to get without drawing attention. Well, anyway, let me get a cloth. Lacey fetches a surgical towel from a nearby drawer. She gently cleans Jack's arm stumps. Your wounds are healing nicely. You're the best there is. Thank you. Oop. The towel dislodges a stitch and a trickle of blood drips into the tub. Lacey stares at a crimson spread as the crimson spreads through the water. She's drawn by it too. My legs itch though, and my fingers. It feels like maggots are crawling in them. Can you do anything about this? Whoa, maybe. What's wrong? Nothing. I just worry sometimes that I can't keep you safe. Safe? You look sick. I'm just hungry. I'll check on dinner. Jack listens to her footsteps fade as she descends the stairs. He closes his eyes and tries to savor the warm water, but his itching limbs make it difficult. Suddenly, he hears a tearing sound. The rig slips, falling another inch into the water. Oh shit. He takes a breath to scream, but before he can let out, the rig breaks. The leather strap opens the tap as he slides under, water pouring on his upturned face. He struggles to keep his mouth above water, but he's about an inch too short. Finally, he uses the stub of his arm to push up just the tip of his mouth into the air. Lacey, help me! Help! It's a feeble call, and he doubts it'll be heard in time. Water from the tap threatens to cover his mouth again. It floods his mouth and nose. He takes a panicked breath and pulls the water into his lungs. He's drowning. Lacey scrambles through the door. Jack, oh God, oh God. She stops the water and pulls his body out of the tub. They tumble to the floor in a wet heap. Breathe. She pulls him over her knee and slaps her fist into his back. He vomits a stream of bathwater. Jack sucks in a deep breath of air. Then another. He tries to steady his ragged nerves as Lacey checks his vitals. You know, if I didn't cough, no better. He takes another ragged breath. I'd say you're trying to kill me. Jack starts to chuckle, then laughs. Too hard. Lacey props up him against the tub, then turns away to turn down the remote. To her surprise, it's only set to 1. She feels a smile creep to her lips. Shut up. He laughs even harder. The sound lifts her spirits. I think he's starting to realize his situation and just kind of going with it at this point. But I think also it's one of those things where he thinks if he can be nice to her and just play along, that maybe she'll let him go. A lot of victims kind of do that. Lacey huddles in a supply closet, reading a thick textbook on anatomy. Her corner is stocked with creature comforts, blankets, and flashlight snacks. A home away from home. All right, hold on. I took some flu medicine, so I'm hoping that it will at least stop this. But if it doesn't, then I guess I don't have the flu. Then I think maybe then I have COVID, but I hope not. So I don't feel like I do. So I don't know. Maybe it could be, but maybe it won't. I don't know. So she pores over a dense illustration of the circulatory system, gently tracing the path of the jugular with her finger. I think she ends up killing her father. Her stepdad, actually. Lacey creeps through her house, her bare feet a whisper on the hardwood floor. Her parents lie passed out in a stupor. Todd snores loudly. She steps up to Todd's side of the bed. She carries the knife she used to stab him. He snores. He's sweaty and disgusting. The knife is sharp. Does she kill him? His blood seems to glow in his veins. His flesh begs to be cut. Right here. Lacey holds the knife in place a good long while. Her hand starts shaking. She tries not to cry. Todd's revolting sleeping face mocks her. Every time he snores, it seems to get louder, more obscene. Does she do it? Does she do it? Yeah. No. Lacey stabs his cat over and over again with the knife. It squeals and tries to wrench itself free from her blade, but it's hopeless. She's in a frenzy. Suddenly she stops. She sets the knife aside and holds the dying, ruined cat in her arms, blood pouring out of its body. It doesn't have the energy to squirm anymore. It stops breathing. It's dead. Lacey touches its ruined face. It's okay. It'll be okay. Just thinking about that, She drops the cat and vomits into the grass. I guess she needs practice, right? Our cat died last night. I'm sorry. I'm not. I keep thinking I should be. But when I saw it die, I was happy because she was free. I'm never getting out of here. When you say here, what do you mean? Here. This city, school, my house. You don't know my stepdad. I know, Todd. Yeah, sure. Lacey stares over Briscoe's shoulder, zoning out on the books sitting on his bookshelf. Her interest peaks when she reads the title, Drug Action Primer. She suddenly has an idea, one so good she barely hears Briscoe speaking. Don't let him stop you from learning here. It's the only thing you can use against him. Because if you learn, you'll be wanted elsewhere, and he can't change that. You'll be able to create your own life. Alright? It's time for class, Lacey? Lacey nods, eyes still glued to the book. She gets up, but doesn't get far. She runs to Briscoe's garbage can and vomits. Daniel wipes the vomit off his chin. He looks like hell. Bad hair, unshaven, hungover. He shuffles to the door, wincing at the noise. What? He opens the door to revealing a smiling Trent. I can't believe I'm about to let you in. Daniel turns and shuffles back to the apartment, leaving the door open behind him. Trent strolls into the workshop and notices the finished sculpture on Daniel's workbench. He bends and peers through the rift into the clay. Inside, he sees what's clearly an interpretation of his scuffle with Daniel. It's wholly unlike the clumsy, awkward affair Trent recalls from memory. The scene depicted is dynamic, purposeful, even strangely beautiful. And yet it doesn't feel inauthentic. It's heightened without being idolized, perfectly without being a lie. It's an amazing piece. Not bad. What a beaut like this fetch. 10 grand? Daniel reappears with a revolver in his hand. He leaves about 10 paces between them and points it at Trent's chest. Hey. Oh shit, this was a mistake. Are you going to stop supplying Sophie with dope? Because it's not what she's needing. It's not what she needs right now. Trent takes a long pause and gathers himself. She's clearly not the only one who's high. I'm not stupid. This seems pretty stupid. If you're blaming me, it must be guilt, because you've got no reason to think I deal drugs. You hit me. Because that's the secret drug dealer handshake, is that it? I don't. Daniel cuts off when he hears a piddling sound. He looks down and sees that Trent has pissed his pants. There's a puddle around his loafer. Christ. Huh. The moment sort of dies. Daniel drops the gun to his side. Trent slowly lowers his hands. This way. Okay, hold on. Got freaking snot built up back there, and I keep blowing my nose, but it's like more keeps being produced. Trent stands by the sink and wipes his pants clean with wet paper towels. Daniel sits at the table and pours himself an early morning drink. The revolver sits next to his hand. You're out of touch, old man. Stuff she likes is easier to get legit anyway. It's sad. I thought she was clean for good. She phoned yesterday. Could barely understand her. Told me her husband died. Is that true? She was supposed to tell you not to come back here. Would have saved me some embarrassment. You would have come anyway. I had a friend send over a background check. It's not just guilt. Daniel pulls out his phone and produces a mugshot of Trent. He's got a black eye in the photo. Okay, you got me. Sophie never knew about that. Just for the record, but you got me. Trent tosses the paper towel and heads for the door. See ya. Where do you think you're going? Away forever, like you were going to order me to? That's what you want. Daniel glances over his shoulder at the newly completed sculpture. Wait. He pours Trent a drink. All right. Lacey walks through the foyer carrying Jack in her arms like a heavy sack. He's blindfolded. I'm trying to save this, but for some reason when you click the menu, it still continues the progress of the story for some reason. That's kind of a bad mechanic, honestly. But I'm not going to complain about it. It's just bad mechanic because like last time when I saved, and to start the next video, it was just it's a mess, honestly. I mean, I'm liking the story so far, but some of the mechanics here in this game, like the menu or at least the clicking mechanics, just it's not working for me. Are we going upstairs? Mm-hmm. What's upstairs? You'll have to wait and see. Lacey brings him into a dimly lit room. She sets him down on a soft surface and leaves. Some cheesy romantic music starts to play. Lacey, I'm right here. What are you doing? I'm getting ready. How are you feeling? Okay, I guess. Why? Just curious. Jack moves his head against the wall and pushes the blindfold off his eyes. He's lying in Lacey's bed. There are candles and flowers scattered throughout the room. Oh, Jesus, for God's sake. You cheated. She joins Jack on the bed. Lacey, I don't think I'm ready for this. You said it you'd try. I just don't think that. Don't worry, that's what the pill was for. Jack looks ready to vomit. Lacey kisses him, but he doesn't respond. She grabs his head and forces him to look at her. Say nobody can stop me. I can tear you apart if I want. Say that. Nobody can stop you. You can tear me apart if you want. She's obviously going for something specific, but it's not working at all. Lacey stops and backs up, looking at him, deflated. It's Sophie. You're thinking about her, aren't you? No, it's not that. My limbs, they itch. Honestly, it's distracting. She pushes him away and gets off the bed to turn off the music, almost in tears. Jack takes a deep breath. Yeah, it's her. It's only been a few weeks. I want this to work. Just be patient and I'll get over her. Be patient? Is that a joke? No, I'm taking this serious. Now that is really a joke. Now that really is a joke. I do. It's weird, but I do. And it's working, isn't it? Sure, as long as this is working. Lacey takes the remote out of the drawer in the bedside table. She turns the knob down to 0 and tosses it on the bed. Jack stares at it. There. That's why this is weird. This weird us thing is working. That, not you. Look, here I am. This is what you want, isn't it? You should be delighted that I can even look at you without feeling sick, and besides, since when does 2 decent fucks and a couple of phone calls entitle anyone to kidnap? Jack stops rambling and blinks. He looks at the remote. You turned it off. One day we'll have to for good. Eventually your tolerance will build up and it won't do anything for you. This is temporary. Lacey has a distant look in her eyes. Something about that look terrifies him. He struggles to remain calm. Listen, you might be right, but if you turn it off now, that day might not come. Is that what you want? I just want to keep you safe. There's a lot of work left to do. She picks up the remote and presses a button. Jack barely has time to look confused before he blacks out. Some time ago. Lacey sits on her mussed sheets partially undressed. She stares at the pattern in the comforter. The woman pulls her clothes on near the bed. The mood is sour. I'm sorry, I just couldn't stop thinking about. Have you thought about getting help? Everything I do is USDA approved. I follow every guideline. Look, you don't have to lie to me. I won't tell anyone. You might consider it. I told you not to open the green door. I thought something was trapped, hurt. Oh, wow. Lacey's basement is filled with animals splayed open, sewn back together, reconstructed in every possible way. Some are alive, mewing, most are utterly dead. Simone gazes at them, disgusted, horrified. Simone, why is this door open? They share a glance. Lacey looks away, ashamed. Simone finishes dressing. She stops in the doorway. I'll see you at work, obviously. Well, take care of yourself. Will you do that? It's research, that's all it is. Yeah. Simone leaves her. I'm surprised Simone didn't turn her in. Just for the sheer fact of that. Because, like, you don't do something like that in your basement. Like, that's just animal cruelty altogether, regardless. And nothing more irritating than congestion, I swear. Ugh. Lacey walks along the city streets, totally alone. A street poster catches her eye, a photograph of a sculpture. A deeply morbid sculpture of an animal lying on its back, sliced open from neck to stomach. She stops walking and stares at the poster. She looks like she was seeing a ghost. The gallery is deserted, too quiet. A table of uneaten hors d'oeuvres wilts under the lights. Sounds of heated discussion drift through an open door near the back. "You are so much better than this. What's holding you back?" "It was a matter of time, not motivation. I warned you this would happen." The back wall of the gallery is filled with sculptures. Despite an intriguing gimmick, the subject remains hidden until viewed from the right perspective. They're passionless, dull. A bird sitting in a tree, titled Lovebird. A toad sitting on a toadstool, titled Toad. A cat sitting on a log, titled Cozy. "You're wasting a real gift. My gallery. This was your idea." Sophie pulls up a review on her phone. Continuing in the tradition of artists who have absolutely nothing to say, Daniel Gibbons. "I already read it. Out of the 30 pieces, only one rises above mediocrity. Barnaby, a notable darker piece which shouldn't even be here. It's fucking horrible. Who would want that sitting on?" They both see Lacey inspecting a sculpture near the back of the gallery. On their mantle. Lacey stands transfixed as she observes the piece, titled Barnaby. It's dark, ugly, almost alive. Daniel steps up beside her. "What's Barnaby?" "Oh, my dog. Got hit when I was little. I reached under the semi, tried to pull him together. He just fell apart. I felt him die. It was a weird feeling." She's starting to tear up. "I'm glad you found something beautiful in that moment." Daniel clutches. The tension vanishes. "If there's any beauty, you're the one who puts it there." She laughs and steps to the next piece, Shipwreck. "What's Shipwreck?" "Oh, I saw it one day on the beach, liked it, you know." Sophie wraps the Barnaby piece in paper and twine and on top of the counter. She hands it to Lacey. "Thanks so much." "You're welcome." Sophie walks off. Daniel touches Lacey's arm. "Listen, let's get dinner sometime. Maybe a double date with Sophie and her husband? My way of thanking you for buying a piece. Normally I'd say no, but not many people can make me cry." "I promise there will be no crying." Jack cries into his beer. Fuck her. He slams the mug down on the table, splashing everyone foam, then removes his wedding ring and flicks it away like a cigarette butt. Daniel wipes foam off his arm and offers Lacey a weary smile. "How did she find out? Was she snooping?" Jack gestures to Daniel. "This genius." The bank mailed the final notice to Jack's apartment instead of the business address, but she didn't have to open it. Another month and she never would have known. All ad agencies have ups and downs. It's the nature of the business. Daniel's getting bored of Jack's rant. He steps out of the booth and heads to the bathroom, picking up Jack's wedding ring along the way. "I'll be back in a minute." Jack cleans himself up a bit. "I'm sorry you feel so bad." "Good, that makes two of us at least." "I'm Lacey, by the way." "Sorry, I guess I go on. It's a pleasure to meet you." "I just broke up with someone too. They thought I was a mess." "Well, we didn't break up exactly. It's a trial separation. Same difference, I guess." She was snooping too, like it was completely normal. What right do they have? And now work's spoiled. I might as well open a private practice. Just collateral damage, that's what they think. And then they judge. Jack downs the last of his beer and pushes the mug aside dramatically. "Oh yeah, they judged, but if they'd known, they'd still be happy. They break it off after learning something new, like you're some different person now. So who were they really with to begin with? You or some imaginary thing they made up, you know?" Jack sits back and takes a beat, pleased with his performance. "What does that say about them? I ask you that." "A lot. It says a lot, doesn't it?" "Yes, it does." Daniel steps out of the bathroom and finds the booth empty. They left some cash. "God damn it, Jack." A short Uber ride later. Lacey and Jack screw each other like only total strangers can. She grabs his throat and pushes him against the headboard. His skull connects with a thud. He winces. Wait. Jack tries to reach for her face, but she grabs his arm and bends it over his head. She's strong, alarmingly strong. His wrist bends at an unnatural angle. Lacey, hang on. She's not listening. She pulls him nose to nose by a fistful of hair and stares into his eyes with an expression that turns his bowels to ice. God, I just want to tear you into little pieces and cut you open and rearrange you and all kinds of awful, terrible things. Terrible. The sober part of Jack's mind screams at him to run, not walk, out of this lunatic's house, but the rest of him decides to roll with it. Do it then. Do whatever you want to. Don't let anyone stop you. This really set her off. Jack's skin glows in her mind's eye with a dense roadmap of incisions and alterations. It's blinding. She's never seen so much potential in one body. Yes, 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 yes. She finally bends his wrist too far, and there's an audible pop. Jack screams and snaps her back to reality. Oh God, are you all right? Jack cradles his wrist, wincing. Yeah, fine, I'm okay. You're fucking crazy, aren't you? The words hit Lacey like a slap. Then he laughs, and she realizes that he doesn't mind. Soon she's laughing too. Deep, cleansing laughter that passes between them until their bellies ache and their squinted eyes are glazed with tears. Let's do this again sometime. A few days later. Hey, I just need another minute. I broke my earring. Hey, don't worry about it. She notices the ring on his finger. Oh. Jack and Lacey sip coffee from mugs at the kitchen counter. Well, I'm glad you two, Yeah, would it be weird if we kept in touch? I don't think so. I make a lot of mistakes. It's kind of my thing. But I gotta say, you were one of the best. They sipped their coffee in silence for a moment. My wrist has actually been bothering me. Oh, here's my card. This is nice. It is. Come here. Ha! Get away from me. I know what you're thinking. Oh no. Jack's eyes flutter open. Now, Jack, I need you conscious for this part, alright? I need your help. Okay. I want you to try and move your right arm. My right arm's gone. Just imagine it and concentrate, because you don't want me making a mistake. Jack breathes deeply and closes his eyes. Lacey throws a switch and an electric hum fills Jack's mind. Jack opens his eyes and sees a distortion appear in the approximate area of his right arm. It solidifies. I can sort of feel it and see it. It's at a weird angle. Try your other. Jack looks down at his leg stumps. He concentrates and his other limbs materialize in similar fashion. This is weird. How are you? Lacey throws another switch and the buzzing intensifies. Some of the wires going to Jack's brain smokes and there's a sizzling sound. Jack's limbs appear. Are the limbs gone? Yes, they're gone. She turns the switch off and pulls several of the wires out of his brain. They are congealed with burnt, fatty material. Listen, is there anything else you want gone while you're open? Because I should really do it now. It's not good to open you up again. Like what? Bad memories? This isn't an exact science, but I have very sophisticated mapping software. An image flashes through Jack's mind. Dear Jack, call Mom. Do not come in. I love you. I guess maybe. I was thinking we could get rid of Sophie. Really? Well, I've already mapped her out pretty extensively, just in case you wanted to. Not a clean sweep, but pretty close. I don't. Please don't. Is there any reason not to? You're not going to see her again, and she's hurting us. Jack tries to think of what to say. Lacey keeps her eyes on the brain monitor. Jack, I can see you getting ready to lie right here. It would be a shame to waste the work. I'll just do it. You'll thank me later. No, stop. Lacey throws another switch and Jack hears the same buzzing sound. Jack closes his eyes and tries to remember his daydream. Sophie is literally burnt out of them, like someone pressed a lit cigarette to film. Anything else, or will we be okay from now on? No, we'll be okay. Lacey reads another thick textbook in the janitor's closet, highlighting and bookmarking as she goes. A bell rings. She stuffs the book into her backpack before quietly slipping out into the rush of students. Lacey can already hear Todd and Margaret fighting when the school bus drops her off. She walks to the tree in her yard, kicks an old beer can out of the way, and sits down. She pulls the book from her bag and continues reading. It's a book about human embryonic development. She rubs her stomach, contemplating the tiny baby growing in her belly. Oh, so he got her pregnant. Oh, shit. She reads until the light fades from the autumn sky and the cold forces her inside. Todd scarfs down a bowl of cereal at the living room table. Lacey makes herself small as she walks past him. He drops the spoon and grabs her by the arm, pulls her close. I noticed you put on some weight. You should take care of that before somebody else does. Lacey looks at her mother. She passes out on the couch, probably drunk. Don't look at her. She can't help you. Are we clear? He lets her go. Lacey tries to relax with a paperback while Jack watches a movie on a small laptop. In the movie, a frustrated parent attempts to calm a screaming child. It's putting her on edge. Ever thought about kids? Sometimes. I can't have kids, so I try not to. Probably best. Our situation would raise questions. Doesn't that make you sad? No. No, of course not. Lacey's soaked in the darkened bathroom. She washes her face in a now cold water, but she can't stop the tears from flowing. She hears a banging sound echo from her memory. Todd pounds on the bathroom door. Lacey, you've been in there for 2 hours. I want to take a goddamn bath. Open up. Lacey sits in the drained bathtub wearing a nightgown, curled in a ball. She's white as a sheet and sweating. I'm almost done. Be out in 10 minutes or I'm picking the lock. Jesus Christ. She listens to him stomp off, then lets out a choked sob. Oh. At the other end of the tube, lying in a pool of blood, is a tiny infant, obviously premature. It barely moves and it doesn't cry. It just takes shallow little breaths. I'm sorry. Oh God, I hope it doesn't show anything too graphic. If it does, I'll probably blur it. I can't keep you safe anymore. I love you. She caresses its perfect face, then sears herself to what has to come next. She cuts into the baby's abdomen, opening it from neck to stomach. It stops breathing. Yeah, I'm gonna blur that out, hopefully. Hopefully I remember to blur it out. That is too graphic for YouTube, honestly. At least it wasn't, like, too graphic, I guess. I mean, it's graphic, but, like, fuck, man. The kitchen shears do the bloody work. Lacey's baby is gone. Oh. I'm gonna have to blur that out, too. This game went all in. It really went all in. They didn't pull the stops for nothing on this one. I should have enough time for one more chapter, I think. So chapter 5, Suffering. Daniel scopes a new piece while Trent sits at a chair, idly sipping bourbon from a glass. Hold on. Let's save. The new piece isn't very good, and Daniel scopes apathically. So what'll it cost for you to be sitting here? Usually a cut of earnings, depending on the client. I don't always work for money, though. Have any favors? Or have any favorites? Well, there's this one guy, and, everybody has their particular needs, and he likes to cook with human blood, so I got it for him. Why? I like the work. No, I mean, why did he? Fuck if I know. He was a structural engineer. You know, it's crazy to think that there are people like that will go out of their way to do anything and everything, essentially, for a client. You know, even if it is severely illegal. And I mean, I don't doubt in my mind that there are people like that in the world right now, you know? And they're just so numb to it. They're like a mercenary or a hitman without being the mercenary or hitman, you know? They don't hold those titles. They just do whatever. They are like basically a retriever. They get things and they will get them. If you can't find it, they will find it, you know? Everyone's got a spark. I'm here to draw it out of them. Not ask why it's there. Finding out's usually a letdown anyway. Trent watches Daniel work. What the hell is that anyway? Daniel tosses the sculpting tool aside. This isn't working. Okay. Tell me what I need. Trent laughs into his glass. Later that evening. Lake Point. Daniel only knows this part of the city by reputation. He glances back at his parked car and tries to remember if his insurance policy covers theft. Trent leads him to further inward. He seems unconcerned about their growing isolation. There's a staccato pop-pop in the distance. Gunshots. Did you hear that? Don't worry about it. The police know not to come around here. This way. Trent leads Daniel to the mouth of a tunnel. As his eyes adjust, Daniel realizes that the silent shapes he initially took for debris are actually people. Dozens of people. Most of them are resting on makeshift beds wrapped in makeshift blankets. The tunnel's residents watch the pair pass with rheumy eyes. There's something in their demeanor that unnerves Daniel. As the roar of the freeway fades behind them, Daniel realizes what it is. Nobody's making a sound. There's no rustling, no spoken words, not even a cough or a sigh, just the clack-clack of Trent's shoes. It's like the breathless hush before a performance starts. Daniel doesn't know what to make of it. He just knows it set him on edge. Yeah, I'd be kind of terrified, honestly. So, this is it? Miserable people? Just watch. Trent approaches an old grizzled man sitting against a wall reading a crumpled paperback. Daniel tries to follow, but Trent stops him. No, you stay in there. You watch. Daniel stays put. Hey, Larry. What do you need? Trent and Larry converse in hushed tones while Daniel watches. Trent hands the grizzled man a gleaming knife and steps back. Larry starts walking towards Daniel, knife in hand. Daniel looks at Trent, who merely lights a cigarette and leans against a pillar to watch. Larry stops next to someone sleeping in a bundle of newspapers and plaster bags. With frightened speed, he stabs the person in the face several times. His victim emits a horrifying, choking gasp as they die. It's over before Daniel has time to process what's happening. Larry stands and takes a few labored breaths, then he drags the body past Daniel. Wow. Daniel averts his eyes while he passes, but can't help glancing at the man's ruined face. He can hear his own heart beating. Jesus. Trent produces a crisp $100 bill and pushes it into Larry's bloody hand. He puts out his cigarette and walks towards the exit. I'll be in the car. Daniel picks up a half-eaten steak with red sauce. Sophie chows down across the table. She's a mess. The apartment is, too. The ending, oh my God, it's just, well, I have to loan it to you. It's just good to read something again as an adult. So inspiring. Like you see yourself fully. Like a complete thing. Daniel fidgets, shifting in his chair. Tries to listen. Can't. Images of the killing keep flashing in his mind. How well do you know Trent? Yeah, I used to know him on Brogul. You know, the guy who worked with Yarn, and later on Palyul. Brought them both in on deadline. Great management skills, just great. She gulps down half a glass of wine while Daniel watches. Picky, though, wouldn't work with him again. Something about sparkles? Daniel hears the man's final desperate cry, suppresses it. Whatever happened with him hitting on you? Oh, nothing. Misunderstanding. How's he working for you? Whoa. Daniel is assaulted by a nightmare image of himself stabbing Sophie in the face. He jumps, rattling his silverware. Look, what are you taking? Is it Valium or stronger now? Look. It won't help. You'll just keep going and going. I helped you stop before, remember? No, you just interrupted me. She gulps down the rest of the wine. Daniel's head swims with visions of blood. The knife stabbing the man's throat, that pathetic gasping of last air. It's too much. He's getting out of his chair. Well, when you're ready for another interruption, you can call me again. That might be a long time. Oh, I'll keep busy. Bye. I think something bad's going to either happen to Daniel or Sophie. Daniel rushes through the door of his apartment, retching. He heads for the bathroom, doesn't make it. He spews a stream of vomit across the floor. He stumbles into his workshop and throws a new slab of clay on the table. It lands with a wet splat. Daniel slaves away at the new piece, pulling it together with his bare hands. He looks disgusted, shell-shocked. He works and works and works. Daniel steps back to look at the completed piece. He erupts in crooked laughter, giddy with the quality, hating himself for where it came from. He pulls out his phone. Hey, it's Daniel. Jesus, Danny, it's 4 a.m. I know. I'm on a roll. I want to keep going. I want to meet. I'm busy. I've got something important at 8. We'll meet later. Take me with you. Hey, calm down. I told you, I'm on a fucking roll. Hello? Fine, I'll pick you up. Be ready. Later that morning in a Lake Point hotel, Trent walks through the graffiti-covered halls of the condemned hotel carrying a black case. A nearby construction site pounds, hammers and drills in the distance. Bright sunlight streams in through broken windows, can't touch deep shadows in every corner. Daniel follows. He sees people sleeping in the halls. Some of them might be corpses. It's hard to tell. Trent seems to know his way around. They stop in the hall in front of the T-set intersection. You got your 6-shooter? No. Trent shoves a handgun into Daniel's shaking hands. What's this for? Hopefully nothing. You're gonna stay the fuck put for 10 minutes. Don't fucking talk to anyone. If you can manage that, I'll take you next door. What's next door? Trent laughs, then he takes a left at the T intersection and he's gone. Daniel looks at the gun. He hears a muffled scream upstairs. He tucks the gun away in his pants. Hey, mister. The pale man sits in a dark corner like a ghost in shadow. His lips are covered with sores, his arms dotted with track marks. That's why I thought that was a woman. Light glint from his expensive-looking green earring. Daniel finds himself wondering where he got it. Oh, okay, yeah, it's a guy. What? You got like $20 on you? Trent's got wicked bombitas. We could split it. Using my girlfriend. Us and my girlfriend. Girlfriend? Where? I don't know. Probably earning her share up in the 3rd floor. I don't know. It's alright. Don't sweat it. Just relax, man. Only one who will hurt you, Trent. And you two seem cool, so. Then you hear someone approaching. Footsteps thump from the T intersection where Trent disappeared. They're getting closer. In a flash, Lacey crosses the intersection in plain view of Daniel, then continues in Trent's direction. She doesn't notice him. Daniel freezes, unsure of what he just saw. Lacey's footsteps thump down the hall, getting quieter and quieter. He follows, sticking to the shadows. Daniel hears Lacey and Trent talking. They're in one of the hotel rooms. He stops near the open door and listens. Lacey rummages through the black case that Trent brought with him. Sitting at her feet is a small animal carrier. Trent lights a cigarette. Lacey waves the smoke away. I asked for sterilized gauze. Are your cadavers gonna get infected? This might. She taps the carrier with her foot. A cat meows from inside. Yeah, okay. I'll knock off 50. If you want a deal, order it online. Lacey gathers up the case and carrier and walks past him. Daniel backs into a dark corner to watch Lacey and Trent exit. They walk past him down the hall. You ever gonna show me what you're up to? Stop asking. Alright. You're the boss, princess. Okay. Excuse me, Dr. Princess. She walks past Daniel. They split in 2 different directions, out of sight. Daniel emerges from the dark and follows Lacey, picking up speed as he goes. Suddenly, a confused-looking Trent steps in front of him, blocking his path. I said stay fucking put. You want to get shot? I changed my mind. I'm leaving. You'd better be joking. Daniel puts the handgun back in Trent's hand and tries to step around him, but Trent doesn't let him go. Then you're fucking walking home. Listen, and that means you'll need this. Hey! Daniel refuses the gun and pushes past Trent. He runs into the hall where he last saw Lacey. Daniel moves through what feels like a labyrinth of identical hotel hallways, all filthy, all dark. More shadowy figures lie crouched against walls and slouched in corners. They watch him as he passes. He tries to keep up an air of entitlement, but bury his fear. Despite the apparent chaos, Daniel senses something oddly deliberate about this place. He can't put his finger on it, but it feels arranged, almost artificial. These thoughts are cut short as he walks past an open door slowly, and slows just long enough to glance at what's inside. Whoa. He sees a body lying against the wall with its head blown off. Daniel hurries past. Daniel stops at the hallway intersection, not sure where to go. He strains to hear footsteps. He hears rough steps through the walls, construction work outside, and a stairwell closing to the right. He darts for the stairwell. Daniel barges through the stairwell exit into a parking lot. He squints as his eyes adjust to the morning sunlight. He sees Lacey walking towards the street exit only 100 yards away. He darts after her, finally gaining. The construction site next door is incredibly loud. Lacey, wait! She doesn't hear him approaching over the noise. Daniel slows to a jog just a few feet behind her. He puts his hand on her shoulder. Hey, Lacey! She drops her cargo and spins around terrified. Daniel falls onto the concrete floor, clutching his arm. Stunned and silent, the two stare at each other. Recognition slowly dawned on Lacey's face. Oh my god, I'm sorry. You shot me. She lowers her gun and rushes to him. Let me see, I'm a doctor, let me see. She pulls the sleeve back to reveal a small, nearly bloodless wound. Okay, it's not bad. Damn it. Uh-huh. Listen, I walked here, so... Oh, sorry, my car's this way. Come on. She helped him up. Well. Lacey drives while Daniel examines his wound. He glances back at the cat sitting in the carrier. You know you shouldn't sneak up on people like that. I thought you were a mugger. I've been mugged several times in that area. It's a bad area. Are you keeping pressure on that? I'm getting blood on the seat. Don't be silly. Blood washes out. Where's the hospital? I'm a doctor. We're going to my place. I really don't think... It's simpler for everyone this way. Trust me. It's just up here. Lacey trots to her front door carrying the black case and animal carrier. Daniel lags behind, cradling his arm. She unlocks the door and steps inside. Daniel tries to walk in behind her and she stops him. Just a second. It's messy. He grimaces as she manhandles his arm. What? She shuts the door in Daniel's face, then locks it. Hey. Jack sits at the kitchen counter reading a single page of the New York Times. A nearby laptop plays a movie. Suddenly, Lacey scrambles into the room carrying a black case and animal carrier. She drops her jacket and kicks off her shoes, frantic. The cat meows in protest. Hey, what's wrong? What? Shh, quiet. He gasps as she scoops him up. He's no heavier than a sack of cat food, as she heads for the basement door, carrying all three items at once. Lacey throws the door open and steps down the stairs. No time to... Boom. Her sock catches on a nail in the stairs and she tumbles forward with a scream. Everything flies out of her hands. Jack flops down the stairs, rolling and twisting at impossible angles. The carrier tumbles open, releasing a small cat who darts out and runs in a corner, terrified. The black case smashes open, sending a hailstorm of sharp medical equipment. Lacey manages to catch the railing halfway and stops her fall, but Jack crashes to a stop face down on the basement floor. Daniel hears a muffled crash from outside. Concerned, he tries to peer into the windows. Hey, Lacey? Nothing. An idea strikes him. He stands on his tiptoes and gropes the top of the door frame. There's a spare key up there, just a few inches from his seeking fingers. Oh, no. Lacey rushes down the stairs to Jack. Jack, are you alright? Fucking stairs. Oh, no. He's writhing around, trying to turn over. She flips him over and gasps. Several medical instruments are embedded in his stomach. He must have rolled on them as he fell. They've opened an ugly 6-inch tear in his gut, and a bit of his bowels are poking out. Oh, Jesus. Lacey hears the front door close and freezes. She hears footsteps upstairs and Daniel's muffled voice. Lacey, are you alright? I heard a crash. Oh my god, is that my intestine? It's not bad. Shh, I'm sorry. There's no time. I'll be back, I promise. She takes out the remote and presses a button. Jack blacks out. His limp body flops against the concrete floor. Daniel steps into the kitchen. He sees Lacey's shoes and jacket on the floor. Hello? Lacey stumbled through the basement door carrying a medical bag. She's pale and shaken up. There's blood on her hands. Wow, there's a lot going on here. I'm wondering if Daniel's going to find out. I mean, I feel like we still got an hour left of this game, so there's plenty of time, but it's getting close to getting found out. Like, jeez. All right, let's keep going. My throat is starting to get dry, but I'm just so intrigued by, like, the suspense. It's so insane. Daniel approaches her, concerned. She steps back, avoiding eye contact. What happened? Are you all right? How did you get in? Spare key. Are you sure you're all right? Simone's old key. Lacey winced at her own stupidity. She snatches the key from his fingers and pockets it. Yeah, something fell over. This is your blood. Here, sit down. A few stitches later. Daniel and Lacey sit at the dining room table. His sleeves are pulled up to his shoulder. His healthy arm holds a bottle of scotch. Lacey sews a stitch into Daniel's wound. Just a few inches, and I would have killed you. I think you just caught the flak. I pity the next mugger who crosses your path. I hope you don't mind me asking, but what were you doing in that part of town? I should ask the same thing. That's easy. Inspiration. Is that true? Yes. Not that it's any of my business, but who else knows you go there? Just one person, Trent Holloway. Lacey takes a moment to absorb this. I see. I'd rather not say what I was doing, but I hope you'll still enlighten me regarding your inspiration. Is it anything like Barnaby? You remember? Lacey gestures to the mantel in her living room. There sits Daniel's sculpture, prominently displayed. I hope you don't mind, but I'd also rather not say. I understand. I think we may have just learned a lot about each other. Huh. Ouch. Daniel's laugh is cut short by her final painful stitch. All done. Let's go. She grabs Daniel's healthy arm and herds him into the foyer. Lacey opens the door for Daniel and nudges him towards it. Let's get some lunch. No. What about tomorrow? Lunch, maybe a movie? I've always wanted to try with Jack butting in, but without Jack butting in. I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. I just want to go on a date. A normal, regular date. Doesn't that sound nice? And you did shoot me. Honestly, yes, it sounds very nice. Okay. Now, will you please go? Daniel nods. She pushes him out of the door. I'll call you. She closes the door in his face. That was close. Lacey enters and sees the cat chewing on Jack's disposed intestines, lapping up blood and tearing it an even larger hole. Hey, scat! The cat darts away. Lacey picks Jack up and puts him on the stretcher. She examines his wound briefly, then goes to the sink and washes her hands. Oh, jeez. Lacey stares at the bloody water circling down the drain. Down, down, down. She turns back to Jack with a faraway look in her eyes. Lacey drops a mass of guts and internal organs, intestines, a stomach, and more, into a bin, splattering blood everywhere. Some of the splatter hits her face. She wipes it away. Something catches her eye. Popcorn kernels, draining from one end of the amputated intestines. The sight seems to awaken her from her trance. She takes off her gloves and tosses them in the bin, then her scrubs and her mask. Piece by piece, she sheds her bloody exterior. She stares at Jack's sleeping form for a moment, then leaves him. Lacey wanders aimlessly into her study. She gazes out the window. It's a beautiful evening. She sits next to her telescope and peers through the viewfinder. She sees Sophie sitting in her bedroom. She doesn't look good. She must have been crying earlier, but now she's just staring into space, broken. Lacey backs away from the viewfinder. She notices a smear of blood on the telescope white casing. She missed a drop when she was cleaning up. She stares at the blood on her palm, willing herself not to cry. Why would she cry? Everything's going just the way she wanted. Is it, though? I'll feed you intravenously every 4 hours, and your bladder will drain into a pouch. Was this really necessary? What do you mean? I mean, was this medically necessary? Oh no, he looks worse. Oh. Poor Jack. Why else would I do it? Why were you in such a rush? What kept you for so long while the cat... Someone was here, a friend. They wouldn't leave. You couldn't make them? Was it a police officer? Why would it be? Do you want it to be? God, if that's what you're hoping for, we might as well. My arms. Your collarbones were broken. What about my everything else? You don't want kids. Why does it matter? I saved your life. She storms off to clean some equipment. Just turn it up, please. Oh, I feel bad for Jack at this point. Alright, so I guess we're going to stop right here. We're at chapter 6. And a lot has happened. I think this episode is going to be, I wouldn't say heavily censored, but it's going to be heavily censored in certain aspects that you obviously would have already seen by now. So, this game is just insane to me, honestly. Like whoever made this, one, is crazy. Because to have a demented mind like this to be able to come up with the story is just purely just crazy overall. But it's very real. To me, it comes off very real because some instances I could see actually happening. And this is we're kind of seeing into the perspective of a psychopath here, and we're seeing the outcome of it through other people's perspectives. Not only the victim's perspective, but the psychopath's perspective and the people who knew the victim. And we'll also have another party who's involved, who is Trent, who gets things done, So this whole story is just coming together in such a strange and interesting way. And I love it, honestly, because it's like, I've played horror games, but this is a horror game because it's real. This could be happening in my town right now and I wouldn't even know it. It could happen in your town and you wouldn't even know it. That's how realistic it is, And so this really just, that's why I really think this is like a real horror story, like a true horror story, because it's just the insane things that are happening in it. And I just can't wait to see what happens in the end. I'm very excited to see how this all plays out. I'm hoping that Lacey does get caught. I hope that Jack somehow gets some justice from this. Even though he was a shitty person, I hope he does get justice. And I hope that Sophie can overcome her addiction. And I mean, she's suffering right now. She's been suffering for a long time. And I hope she can overcome that suffering. And I think what's going to happen to Sophie, I feel like she's going to kill herself. I feel like it's going to get to a point where she just can't take it anymore and she's going to hurt herself. And with Daniel, I think Daniel's going to go down a dark path. I mean, he's already there. He's witnessed a death. Like he witnessed Trent killing somebody. So it's just, there's just a whole lot happening here, and it's interesting to see because I'm interested to see how this is just going to play out all together. So hopefully this will be done and over with by the next episode, and if not, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm thinking this last video will be it. So with that being said, hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Drink plenty of water, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Alright, so we are back with more Cut to the Core. This should be the last episode of this. So, a lot has happened. If you don't remember, or if you don't know, best thing I can suggest is just go back and watch the others. Like, there's no need to be at this point. There's no need to be at this point in the series if, you're just gonna want to know what's going on. I think if you need to know what's going on, go back and watch the other ones. There's only 2 others, so I guess with that being said, let's jump right into this and finish this story up. My tongue is burning because I just had some more hot salsa. It is my guilty pleasure, but also my downfall. So I may end up getting sniffles here. The next day, Jack sleeps as his body is slowly nourished by a fresh IV pouch. Nearby, Lacey works with a sedated cat in a harness. Its brain is exposed. She tweaks the power flowing to a chip embedded in its cerebrum. It's a delicate work. She checks Jack's monitor to ensure he won't distract her. His brain monitor shows deep sleep. She leans in to make the adjustment. Somebody must ring the doorbell. The tiny chip explodes, sending a little spray of cat brain matter in her direction. Jesus, I bet it's Daniel. Yes, what? Hello. She's like, what are you doing here? Oh, right. Just give me a second. I'll be right out. She closes the door in its face. Daniel and Lacey sit in the restaurant, both picking at appetizers. Lacey stares off at the distance like she's enduring a lecture. Only neither of them is talking. Daniel gets up to leave. Hey, I should head out. Get back to work. But they haven't brought up... Oh. No, sit down. I'm being a terrible date. I'm sorry. He sits. Something I can do? Erase the last year of my life, maybe? Daniel makes a gun with his finger and holds it to her head. I can erase all of them. Bang. Are you always this morbid? You bring it out of me. Lacey smiles, a little. Is it Jack that's got you down, your practice? Not the practice. I like the time off. I know you two were close. I haven't told anyone. Yeah. They play with their drinks. You know, he could be a real jerk. Huh, yes he could. He called me the best mistake he ever made. It didn't seem rude at the time, but now... He's called me the worst. He's called me worse. And he never thanked me once for all I did. Not really. I know. I can't think of one thing he didn't screw up. Wife, friends, business. And he's so passive-aggressive and accommodating. Was. To no more Jack, erased from our lives. They toast and take a slow drink. That's gotta suck, you know? Being alive and people still talking about you like you're dead. I mean, granted, Daniel doesn't know, but just the shit talk that they're doing, that's just disrespectful, honestly. Fuck him. Have you ever used that word before? Twice. Now. At a local matinee. The theater is small and about half full. Lacey and Daniel sit near the back sharing popcorn. It's a stupid movie, but they both enjoy it. I think Lacey's slowly falling for Daniel. After the show, they stroll down the street having an animated conversation. Lacey stops Daniel mid-sentence. Let's have lunch again. It's almost dinner. No, tomorrow. Ah, okay. Daniel and Lacey reach the door of her house. Daniel takes Lacey's hand and gives it a comically formal shake. She laughs. Lacey watches him go, then steps inside. Daniel steps into his apartment humming a tune. He hangs his coat and reaches for the light switch. He stops, sniffing the air. Cigarette smoke? He turns to see Trent standing in the entry. Jesus! Trent drops the cigarette and grinds the butt into the floor with his shoe. You really fucked my shit up the other day. How'd? Never mind. Just go. Daniel moves to escort him out. Trent grabs Daniel's hand and curls it around into a painful hold. It happened so fast Daniel had no time to react. Jesus, what happened to... Trent moves again and suddenly Daniel is on his knees gasping for breath. Shut up. Okay, alright. About before, I got a little overexcited. Do you mean when you woke me up at 4 a.m. or when you bailed on a perfectly good murder-suicide setup? Setup? Next door, ready to go, ended up popping him myself. It'll be a week before another one's ready. He lets Daniel out of the hole and pushes him away. Daniel turns to face him, ready to defend himself, but Trent seems small and harmless again. No threat at all. I don't want... What's with your arm? Did you get shot, you stupid fuck? It was just Lacey Scalia. That's why I ran off. I know her. We're friends. The doctor? Yeah, she's a doctor. Trent just stared at him. What? Meanwhile, Lacey watches Sophie through her telescope. She's calling people tonight. Lacey senses her professional facade is in place, but it's been eaten away by each successful call. Maybe she's reaching out to the artists? Lacey can't lip read well enough to tell. On a whim, Lacey points her telescope down the few floors to Daniel's apartment. There he is, Daniel. And Trent? Lacey stares in disbelief. The situation looks tense. You shouldn't be talking to her. Lacey? She's harmless. I just had lunch with her. Were you alone? Alone? What do you do for her? Fuck yourself. Tell me, or I'll just see her again tomorrow. We have a date. Trent sighs. She needs medical equipment and lab animals, no paper trail. I also dispose of large sacks of ground meat. Forensically sensitive, you might say. Do I have to add that sometimes I dispose of more meat than said items can account for? This is simple. You're an investment to me. She'll fuck up my investment, don't see her. Did Sophie tell you I'm some kind of gravy train? My work won't sell. It never sells. You'll be lucky if you see a few grand, and that's with a fat cut. An idea dawns on him. He steps into his office. If it's money you want, why don't I just pay you to fuck off? He reappears with a small wad of cash, maybe a few $1,000s. Here, I've had enough of... Trent smacks the money out of his hand. Bills fluttered around him. When they clear away, Daniel is shocked to discover that Trent has a straight razor pressed against his throat. Daniel puts his hand up, afraid to make any sudden movements. Your work. Do you do it for the money? No. So don't insult me. You've got a bright spark, maybe even brighter than Dr. Princess. I don't know yet. It's buried deeper than hers, but I intend to change that. So get back to your fucking lane before I get snuffed out. He pockets the blade in one smooth motion and steps back. The action is so casual that Daniel finds himself doubting it was ever there. For the first time, Daniel notices a wood box sitting in the kitchen table. He peers around Trent to take a look. What's that? Don't worry. I'll pick it up before it starts to smell. Trent slams the door on his way out. I think it's a head. I feel like it's a head. Lacey waits for some sign of Daniel. She can't see him from this perspective. At last he reappears looking shaken. He steps into the kitchen, his eyes glued to the box on the table. He slowly lifts the wood carved and looks inside. He pales and goes stiff. He looks for a long, long time. Finally, as if in a trance, he steps into his workshop out of sight. Lacey sits back while Daniel walks out of the view. An alarm goes off on her phone, but she hardly notices. He plays a cheery tune on loop. Jack calls out from the bedroom. Lacey, is that the food alarm? She wonders what they were talking about, and about the box, but mostly she wondered how Daniel could invite that monster into his home. Lacey, I'm really hungry. She stops the alarm. Yeah, sorry. I'll get a bag. Inside the box lies a severed head with sores on its lips. Brilliant green earring glints in the light. Oh no. Its glassy expression is a mockery of sadness. Oh, jeez. The next evening. Sophie cracks the door to the outer hall. Her hair is unkempt and stringy, her eyes bloodshot. Just the thought of setting foot outside sends her into a fit of sobs. She closes the door and retreats inside. The apartment is filthy. She walks past a small mountain of spoiled food, indifferent. She stares into the bathroom mirror and tries to recognize herself, tries to understand how things got so bad. You're not like this. You wouldn't fall apart like this. And yet here she is, professionally irrelevant. Spouse dead, parents dead, no close friends, just former party guests who don't return her calls. I'll accept. Clear thought rises above the sludge of hopelessness in her brain. Help. You need help. She pulls out her phone and calls Daniel. It goes to voicemail. Daniel, I'm ready for that interruption. Please help me. I don't know what to do. She hangs up, texts him, and takes another pill. Daniel looks almost as bad as Sophie. He hasn't slept since last night. He's pale and sweaty, and there's a dried vomit on his collar. He molds the clay back block like he's possessed. His phone buzzes. He tries to ignore it. Daniel. I left a message. Call me when you get this. Or just come upstairs. It's important. What? What? He smashes his workbench with both fists. Tools rattle and fall to the floor. He snatches his phone with clay-smeared hands, ready to fling it at the wall. Sophie. Sounds important. But so is his work. He'll reply when he's finished. If Shirley needs something, she'll knock on his door. She'll understand. This is for her gallery. He's about to turn off the phone when... Hey, we had a date. Did you forget? Shit. I'm so sorry. Working on the big project. Rain check? Sure, I understand. Call you soon. She looks at Daniel's apartment for some sign of him. Nothing. She sighs. Her phone alarm goes off. Time to feed Jack. She seems frustrated with Jack now. Later that night. Lacey returned to her study and aimed a telescope at Sophie's apartment. Watching her is becoming a nightly ritual. There. Sophie stands in her living room, pale as a ghost. She's staring straight at Lacey. Lacey almost falls backwards in fright. She composes herself and looks again. No, she's not really staring at her. She's simply gazing out the window. Sophie's message to Daniel has gone unanswered. To her great surprise, the passing hours have not brought more pain. Quite the opposite. Her suffocating fear has been washed away. She can finally relax. She knows what she has to do. A handful of pills and a glass of water sit on the coffee table. She pours them both into her mouth and swallows. She lets the glass drop from her hand. It shatters. I was right. Okay, so apparently I ran out of space, so I don't know how much I missed in this instance here, but we were in the process of witnessing Sophie kill herself, essentially. So like I said, I don't know how much was missed. Yeah, I ran out of space on my PC. Like, I had no room because the video file size is so large. Like basically three of the videos I did of this so far was 59 gigs. That's how large the video files are. So yeah, sorry about that. So I mean, hopefully we didn't miss much. Luckily I noticed it on my other monitor. So let's keep going. Lacey backs away from her telescope. She dashes into the kitchen and rummages through the drawer, searching for something. Finds it. A phone. One of the burners she used for anonymous calls. She opens it, instinctively dials the police, but then stops. She cancels the call. She dials a different number and listens to the phone ring. Daniel starts awake, grimacing. After nearly a day without sleep, he finally collapses on his couch. He squints at his phone, answers it. Yeah, Daniel Gibbons. Lacey opens her mouth to say something but hesitates. At that moment, a voice cries out from the next room. Hello? Is that you? Are you home? Lacey claps her hand over the phone's mic. Daniel trembles. Jack? Is that you? The call ends. He looks at the display unknown number. Daniel puts the phone down, already wondering if it was a nightmare. Lacey clutches the phone in her chest, breathing hard. Hello? She wanders back into her study and looks into the telescope, still clutching the phone. Sophie lies very still in a pool of her own blood. Both her wrists have been gashed multiple times. Lacey, are you there? I'm here. I'm hungry, Lacey. I'll be right there. Lacey puts the phone down and leaves. This whole situation is fucked. Lacey reads the drug book. She looks pale, her eyes sunken. Her eyes dart across the page, picking up words like sedative, muscle relaxant, dentrexaline, impairment. Lacey sets the drug book aside and picks up another one. This time a scrappy red book with no cover title. She opens it up to a bookmarked page. Schematics. She's building something. I feel like I need a burp. Todd sits at the dinner table cleaning his gun and eating a bowl of cereal. He gets up to wash one of his cleaning tools in the sink. Lacey carefully deposits a dash of white powder into his cereal while he's not looking. Oh. That night. So she does kill him. Todd sleeps like the dead. Margaret is next to him. Lacey enters the room carrying a knife. She climbs onto Todd's chest and holds it to his throat. She presses it in, drawing blood. Todd's eyes drift open. He sees Lacey and tries to move, but can't. I drugged you. I'm going to kill you. Todd senses that she's serious. He tries to move again and can only manage pathetic little kicks. He stares at her with rage and hatred, then tries to rouse her mother. He can only manage a few slurred grunts. Meh. Yeah. She can't help you. I drugged her too. She's dead. Todd's eyes roll towards Margaret. She's in fact dead, cold and gray, with some foam at the corner of her mouth. When Todd turned his eyes back to Lacey, she slits his throat. It's not a deep cut. He can still breathe, but blood flows freely from his neck. He starts to panic. Lacey climbs off the bed and lifts a glass jug of liquid with some kind of mechanism in the lid. She places the jug on the bedside table. I want to cut you more, but they'll know, even if you're burned. Todd flails about in horror, still bleeding from his sliced neck, utterly helpless. Lacey spent hours rehearsing this moment, choosing just the right words. Words like, I hope it hurts. Words like, I'm going to forget you. Words like, once you're gone, I'll have a beautiful life full of people who love me. But now she's here, words feel inadequate. She presses a button on the device and backs away, out of the bedroom. Lacey sits with her back to the tree, waiting for the fire to start. She rocks back and forth, nervous, terrified. Todd's bedroom erupts in flames. It quickly spread through the rest of the house. Lacey curls into a ball as she feels immense heat. Even from the distance, it worked. The house will be ashes by morning. She tries not to laugh, but can't help it. Lacey picks at the plate of food while Jack sits at a chair, propped up with pillows, an empty plate in front of him. An IV is plugged into his neck. Are you alright? You look so lonely. I'm not at all. Just confused. What about? Lacey shrugs. She sees a trickle of blood running down Jack's side. She fetches some gauze from the kitchen and kneels next to his chair to clean his wounds. The skin around his stitches is puffy and red. I haven't felt confused since my dad died. Angry, maybe? And stressed, but not confused. How'd he die? Tried to commit suicide. Tried. I fucked it up like everything else. I found him. He knew I'd be home first. Dear Jack, call Mom. Do not come in. Oh, wow. Killed himself for the life insurance, but he'd fucked that up too, and we ended up penniless. The nightmare image is seared into Jack's memory. His father had no face, just a ragged hole where his face used to be. Blood spattered the wall behind him. His limp feet still in a thick puddle of gore. Jack's father is still alive. That's so crazy. Trying to breathe, flexing his fingers, deaf, dumb, and blind. Confused. He senses that someone is there and tries to speak with what's left of his windpipe. He can only produce a thick, worsening gurgle. He gets up, stumbles, falls at Jack's tiny feet with a spat, groping with his bloody hands. My life insurance was in order. Jack stares ahead, lost in his memory. Lacey continues washing his wounds. Can't remember why, though. Jack. His attention jolts back to her. Something in her voice alarms him. This isn't working. I don't think you can make me happy. Don't say that. Whatever else you say, not that. Is it the remote? We'll stop using it. We don't have time. It's the one thing we do have. Thanks to you, I'm happy now. No more pressure. I can just be me. And you love me for that, right? I know. You're here and it's like I knew it would be. I do love you. Do you love me? I'm incredibly thankful. Yes, I love you. This can last. I don't know anymore. Lacey, tell me the truth. Do you want to kill me? Isn't that where this is going? Lacey starts to cry. I know what you are. I can't stop you, but I don't do it like this, piece by piece. Just kill me. You don't want to die, do you? No. I don't want you to die either. I want to keep you safe. I want you to be with me always. Her sincerity is palpable. Jack breathes a sigh of relief. She produces the remote and turns it down to 0. Jack winces. Stop. If that's what you want, you need to turn that thing back up. I'm not myself when it's off. Lacey has that distant look in her eyes again. I want you to never worry about anything again. She turns the remote down past 5 to -5. Jack's eyes twitches. You're sick. You're just going to cut me until there's nothing left, aren't you? Jack grits his teeth and struggles to remain in control. Shh, you don't have to worry. I'll tell you. She leans in and whispers something in his ear. Jack nods as he listens, then stops nodding. He starts shaking his head. She finishes whispering and steps away, beaming. Jack's eyes are wide with terror. No. I won't let you. You fucking bitch. Sick murdering bitch. You'll be safe. We'll be together. There's not much left to do. She presses a button on the remote. Sparks fly from the button as it malfunctions. Lacey shrieks and drops the smoking remote on the floor. An electric snap sounds within Jack's head. Something sparks inside his skull, lighting up his eyes for a moment. Jack's eyeballs suddenly dislodge. He quivers and goes limp. The crescent-shaped wound on his head begins to steam. Jack! Lacey cranks the bed so that Jack sits up in an upright position. She straps him in place. She grabs some scissors from a nearby tray and quickly cuts the stitches on the crescent-shaped wound. She uses tongs and peels back the scalp and removes the top of his skull. With care, she uses tweezers and extracts a small chip, which is glowing red hot and covers with brain matter. She tosses the chip onto a tray. It sizzles. Lacey fills a bucket with cold water. She pours it into a hole in Jack's head. Steam rising. Water seeps out of his eye socket. She peers into his brain. The excised chip has left a gaping hole. She falters and holds him to her chest. Jack's body continues breathing against all odds. Is that what she wanted to happen? 7. Aftermath. So this is it. This is the end. A few days after the funeral, Daniel stands in Sophie's apartment. He seems like a fly buzzing around in the hollowed-out husk of a whale. He pulls out his phone and listens to her message again. It hurts every time. He wants it to hurt more. Daniel and Lacey sit at opposite ends of her couch. An uneaten lunch wilts on the coffee table. The gallery is mine now, and her collection. Not sure if I'll keep it yet. She called me just before. I was home when it happened, 2 minutes away. Working. A sob threatens to take control. He takes a deep breath and pushes it down. I'm sorry. I know this is a lot. It's okay. Sophie's the one I dumped my baggage on. She always knew what to say. They sit in silence for a moment. I didn't know her well, but I know she believed in your work. Maybe you should do the show. Keep the gallery. Keep going. Daniel absorbs this. Maybe. What am I saying? She'd be furious if I didn't. Any finished pieces yet? A few. Want to come by and see? I've got something first. But yeah, how about dinner? He smiles, thankful for the semblance of normalcy. But what about Trent? Lacey pushes something into her grinder. Bloody chunks of meat pile into a plastic sack marked biohazard. Later that afternoon, Lacey pulls out her wallet and fishes for a wad of cash while Trent watches. 2 sealed biohazard bags sit in the corner. A woman is passed out in an armchair nearby. The pair ignore her like she's furniture. I can't remember. Was the rate 5 or 600 a bag? 4. Boy, my memory's going. For instance, I could swear I told that chicken shit accountant not to go anywhere near you again. But he's still doing it, so I must be off. That's not your business. Wrong. I'm not priming him in the hopes he'll become a hamburger. Lacey gives him a suspicious look, then eyes a sack of meat. Trent laughs. Relax, that's not where it's going. Trent leans in. You know. Trent. She pushes the cash at him and tries to leave. He blocks her way. What? Does he whisper to you about killing people? What a big heart on it gives him? He's not doing any dirty work. It's all me, just so you know. I'm in no mood for this. What's it gonna take to get you in the mood, huh? This? Trent puts a bullet in the brain of a sleeping woman. She dies without even objecting. Lacey jolts but stays quiet. Trent cups her hand under the woman's. Trent cups his hand under the woman's ruined head and lets blood flow into it. He holds it up for Lacey to see. Am I right? He flicks it at Lacey's face, leaving a bright red constellation of blood drop across her cheek. She jumps again. She's trembling. Trent waits for her to say something. I have to go. Trent pulls his handkerchief out of his jacket and starts wiping the blood off her face. I'm sorry. That was too much all at once. I get excited. He stops wiping and looks at her. He tries to lean in for a kiss. Lacey backs away in disgust. Fine. Go fuck the chicken shit accountant if that's what gets you off. Go on. She steps through the door, trying not to turn her back on him. Lacey marches down the hall, fighting back tears. Trent steps into the hall and shouts after her. You think you're better than me? You're a murderer and you fucking love it. Admit it. That Trent guy is crazy. They should have never got involved with him. Lacey paces back and forth, her volume turned up to 11. Daniel kept his distance, like he's afraid to get burned. He's so dangerous. He'll kill you if you let him. I won't then. If he comes here again, I'll just... Don't go to him either. You're making him crazy. Him being crazy's got nothing to do with me. Lacey grimaces. Daniel finally grasps the situation. Oh. Okay, don't see him again. Completely cut off. Daniel hesitates. Why aren't you saying yes? Because I think I should have a say in this. Why should I stop when you're the one he's threatening? I didn't say he didn't threaten you. Well, did he or not? Why are you so reluctant anyway? Daniel gestures to his workshop. I'm doing the best work of my life. I've given up hope. Lacey glances at his workshop and screams in terror. Jack stares at her from the other room. No, not Jack. Just a sculpture of his face peering at her through a rift of clay. It's incredibly lifelike. Half dozen other large sculptures surrounding it. She inspects them, still jittery but fascinated. I got a call a while ago. I swear it sounded like Jack's voice. It was creepy because it was the night Sophie died. Lacey reaches into the rift and gently strokes Jack's glazed cheek. Her expression projects grit and vitality. It's the face of someone full of life looking towards a future of their own making, for good or ill. I'll stop too. We'll both stop. Not just Trent, all of it. Why? She gestures to a sculpture of a screaming man with his head blown off, apart. Somehow Daniel's interpretation makes it even more disturbing than the real thing. As though he had captured a dead soul in clay. Should we really be celebrating this? If bad things have to happen, why shouldn't I turn them into something beautiful? But they don't. I know where these come from. But they do. Trent, Lake Point, if I look away, what does that change? Anyway, I'm not responsible for what Trent does. My hands are clean. For now. No, I could never do it. Daniel runs his hand across the sculpture of a severed head. He has rendered the man's face with stark dignity, looking to the heavens like a saint. This one, maybe he's better off, or maybe I just need to believe that. I don't know. But I do know he didn't want to die. I could never do what you do. What do I do? I don't know. More than me, I know that much. Stop that. I'm sick. Not inspired, not enlightened, sick. I ruin everything. Every chance I have to be happy, I don't even know why. Lacey sits and tries to get her breathing under control. Daniel sits down next to her. They calm down and look out at the window, listening to the sounds of the city. The sound takes Daniel's thoughts to the tunnel in Lake Point. To the murder. Because that's what it was. Not inspiration. Murder. Shit. Okay. So we'll stop. Lacey feels a flood of relief, but it's quickly muddied by questions, doubts, and fears. Where do I start? It's so complicated. Then make it simple. Just stop. I'll try if you will. Just stop. Just try and see how far that gets us. And if I do, what was it all for? Nothing? Daniel doesn't understand. He doesn't know what she's just done, but he knows the pain and contentment in her voice. He feels it every time he listens to Sophie's message. It's only for nothing if we give up. We tried something, and we made mistakes, bad ones. But that doesn't mean we stop. We'll try something new. We keep going. Okay, we'll start tomorrow. Okay. Daniel pours some bourbon. They make a quick, silent toast to the future. Lacey downs the glass in one gulp and takes Daniel's hand. We're doing this. I can't believe it. This time, the flood of relief washes away all doubt. She feels invincible. She pulls him close. Interesting. No. What's wrong? I want to tear you into little pieces and cut you open and rearrange you in all kinds of awful, terrible things. Terrible. I'm sorry. Whoa. I'm so sorry. Lacey snaps awake on the bed. Daniel isn't there. The light streams through the window is harsh and unfriendly. She cradles her aching head. She gets up and pulls on her clothes. She hears eggs frying and smiles. Then she hears something else. Oh God. Oh no. Daniel stands in the kitchen chopping parsley. Eggs fry on the stove next to him. Lacey hops into the room, pulls her shoes on. Daniel, I'm sorry. I really have to get going. Daniel intercepts her with a grin on his face. Whoa, there's breakfast. She winces at the kitchen knife in his hand and backs away. I know, but I forgot something. She rummages in her purse and pulls out her keys. Daniel sees her shaking hand. Lacey, calm down. What's going on? I told you I'm late. For what? For work? Get out of my way. Lacey, you can tell me. The smoke alarm beeps. The eggs are burning. You're meeting Trent. Daniel stands, waiting for an answer. Well, tell me I'm wrong. Lacey steps past him and leaves the kitchen. Lacey makes for the front door. The smoke alarm continues to beep. It's like a needle in her ear, driving her crazy. At the last moment, Daniel reaches for her. You can't let her go like this. Wait. She wrenches the kitchen knife from his hand and stabs him in the shoulder. Daniel staggers backwards against the wall. Her anger drains. She drops the bloody knife to the ground. I have to... Get out. She leaves. Damn, this guy is just taking it all. Lacey, is that you? Are you home? I'm so hungry. Why am I so hungry, Lacey? Lacey runs down the basement steps. I'm sorry, Jack. I forgot to give you a nutrient bag. That's why you're so hungry. She gasps when she sees him. Jack's not looking good. His skin is gray pale and sick with a thick, viscous moisture, blood still weeping from his wound. His eyes are now sunken and his lips are dried, cracked and bleeding. One of his eyes is cloudy and seems ineffective. I'll give you an injection right away. This man has gone through hell. Okay. Lacey feels a needle. She takes a breath to stop her shaking hands. Lacey, will you stay a while? I'm getting bored. Okay, Jack. Lacey tries to inject the needle but seems flustered. Jack smiles maniacally. Where were you? Some of your veins have collapsed. Where were you? Can we watch TV? I was at a friend's. Hold still for a second. She injects the needle directly into his jugular. He doesn't flinch. Okay, I'll drain your bladder pouch later. Can we watch TV? Lacey nods. Jack and Lacey sit in the living room couch, watching a comedy. Jack laughs almost nonstop at the TV. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh no, the cake's all over the car. Can I have some popcorn? You don't have to eat popcorn anymore. Jack falls silent for a moment, confused. Then he's swept away by another on-screen gag. He's so frail, barely able to support the weight of his own head. She stares at his jugular. He beats beneath the paper-thin skin. It would be so easy to end this. Jack turns to her and smiles. I don't want to kill you anymore. I don't want to kill you anymore. He turns back to the TV. I don't want to kill you either. But I don't think I can stop. I'm going to hurt him too, Jack. His flesh is already speaking to me. I don't know what to do. That's something I loved about you. You always knew what to do. Jack isn't listening. He's not even Jack anymore. She stands and paces the room while he laughs at the screen. She's on the edge of panic. She grips the fireplace mantle with both hands and takes deep, slow breaths. She's face to face with Barnaby. She breathes it in, calming herself. It remains Daniel's masterpiece, unmatched even by his recent works. As she stares into the rift, an idea takes shape in her mind. A beautiful idea. A terrible idea. As beautiful and terrible as Daniel's work. A smile creeps across her lips. Her suffocating fear has been washed away. She can finally relax. She knows what she has to do. Jack laughs. Lacey laughs too. She sits next to him. Jack, we have more work to do. Let's finish this. Okay. Lacey injects Jack with a potent cocktail of drugs. I need you awake for this, but I promise it won't hurt. You're the best. Don't be scared, okay? Okay. Okay, here we go. She dons her mask and gloves and gets to work. You're doing great, Jack. Stay awake for me, okay? This is just getting gruesome. Is this even suitable for YouTube at this point? It's almost over. We're almost done. Daniel puts the finishing touches on the new piece. This time Lacey is the subject. He stands back to take it in. Through the rift he sees Lacey's rage. A sea of pure, blood-soaked rage. Glimpsing a fragment was enough to terrify him. Daniel recalls laughing off Trent's warnings. Back then, her misdeeds felt distant and abstract. Now as he rubs his wounded shoulder, they feel all too real. Daniel, hi. I think I can help you. I really do. You were wrong about me. I can't change, but maybe that doesn't matter. Come over when you get this. Daniel reads the messages, then pockets his phone. So, Lacey wants to help him. God only knows what that means. But Daniel thinks he knows how to return the favor. I think they're going to kill each other. He checks his revolver. He stuffs it into his jacket pocket, then leaves. Daniel stands near the entrance of the tunnel. He's sweating. The freeway overhead is deafening. Nobody's around. It looks like the tunnel's residents have cleared out too. Trent appears at the tunnel entrance and marches towards Daniel. Hey, Trent. Ooh, Trent pulls out his gun and shoots Daniel in the leg. Daniel cries out and crumbles to the dirty floor. Think I'm stupid? You asked to meet me here. What did you expect? Daniel pulls a revolver out of his pocket and aims it at Trent, his hands shaking. Trent stops and watches the barrel, hardly bothered. Daniel can't seem to pull the trigger. He struggles to hold the gun steady, but the barrel waves off target. Trent smiles, steps up and puts the revolver out of Daniel's hand like he's fighting with a sibling. He finally wrests it free. He grabs Daniel by the collar and starts beating him with the revolver. Daniel struggles to protect himself. What the fuck does she see in you? Stupid. Fucking prick. Daniel recovers and grabs Trent's wrist. Ignoring the scream of pain from his wounded leg, he stands and twists, using his weight to push Trent back a step, then another. Trent plants his feet firmly and drops the revolver. It clatters on the ground. Daniel glances at the gun, considering. In a flash, Trent's straight razor appears in his free hand. It slashes Daniel across the ribs once, twice, 3 times. Daniel buckles, stunned. Trent lets him fall on his back. Bloody and dazed, they picks up the revolver and checks whether it's loaded. It is. Daniel risks lifting his hand to glance at his wounds. The amount of blood is shocking. He needs a doctor. Suddenly Trent is close, leaning down, speaking almost in a whisper. Did she show you? What? Her work? Did she show you her work? Trent's eyes burn with curiosity, jealousy, rage. Daniel finally shakes his head. Trent steps back with obvious relief. His eyes go dead again. So, what's next? Nothing. I'm done. It's over. No shit. Trent raises the gun to fire at Daniel, but stops when he hears something behind him. Trent turns around just in time to see the knife stab him. It's buried in his skull up to the hilt. Blood seeps out of the sealed wound in a trickle. He fires the gun absentmindedly as he falls to his knees and dies. Larry kneels and looks at Daniel. Daniel produces a crisp $100 bill and pushes it into Larry's bloody hand. Larry shuffles back into the tunnel as Daniel struggles to get to his feet. All that just for that, huh? Just to keep him distracted? Confession. Maybe this is the last of it, hopefully. Lacey opens the door. Daniel stands there with a bloody nose and swollen eye and a bullet hole in his leg, blood oozing from his wounded chest. She steps out to support him, shocked. Oh my God. Got shot again. Lacey tends to Daniel's wounds in a dining room. His clothes lie sliced to ribbons in a bloody pile. He hasn't said a word since he walked through the door. He endures Lacey's stitching stoically. Lacey doesn't press him for details. Instead, she fills the silence with shop talk. I should really take you downstairs. This table is hardly sterile. Your leg could have been worse, but you're looking at months of recovery. You'll need to pack the wound. 2 of your ribs are broken for sure, and these lacerations are very deep. Moving will be painful for a long time, I'm afraid. She finishes the last stitch, then gathers his bloody clothes and stuffs them in the trash bag. Lucky for you, I'm the best there is. Trent's dead. Oh, I see. Are your hands still clean? Clean enough. She senses he's not ready to say more. Here, put these on. Daniel obeys robotically. Lacey gives him an injection he hardly notices. Let's go downstairs. This really isn't healthy. Come on, I'll help you down. She guides him through a green door. Oh no. Lacey helps Daniel step down the stairs one painful step at a time. Watch your step. They finally reach the bottom of the stairs. Daniel takes his surroundings in for the first time. He's very confused. He looks at all the medical equipment. What is this place? Is this for... Daniel tries to take a step forward and nearly falls over. He grabs the railing to keep his balance. It's for research. Experiments. Trent helped me get the equipment. No paper trail. Nothing to make the insurance agencies curious. I feel dizzy. I thought that Jack would be the final experiment, but it looks like that honor goes to you. Jack? The room swims. He starts to fall backwards. Lacey hurries over to help him sit in the stairs. Do you want to see his remains? I want to go home. Shh, wait here. I'll bring him to you. Lacey walks off in another part of the basement, out of view. Daniel tries to turn around and crawl up the stairs, but he can't hardly move. The stairs seem to grow in front of him. Daniel? Here. Daniel turns around and sees her rolling a cart in front of him, at the foot of the stairs. There's something on the table, a lump of some kind barely the size of a basketball. Daniel is staring at what used to be a person, a skull, an eye, a brain, and a small sack of vital organs. It's pulsating and breathing. There's no way it should even be alive. That's all I'm saying. The thing looks directly at Daniel with some lone remaining eye. It's Jack. He's smiling with what's left of his upper lip. Daniel tries to push himself away from it, up the stairs. Jack, my God. Oh God, it's him. Oh God, what happened? What did you do? You'll understand soon. Jack stares at him as he loses consciousness. Oh no. Daniel starts awake. He's very, very groggy. He's tied down to a stretcher, wearing scrubs. He sees a fuzzy shape in front of him. He focuses his eyes and realizes that it's Lacey sitting on a hospital bed. Hi, Daniel. Where's Jack? He's safe. Safe as you'll get, I guess. Are you going to kill me? I'm going to tell you a story. What? Lacey sits forward and gets comfortable. I'll start from the beginning. Lacey finishes her story. Daniel stares at the ceiling. Suddenly, Daniel pulls against the straps, furious. Jack did that. He actually got out. Those are new. You won't break those. Daniel pulls again, then winces at the pain in his ribs and stops. It's pointless. You'll just tear your wounds open. You won't need them much longer anyway. She steps off the bed and approaches a large jug of liquid with some kind of mechanism on the front. It's far more sophisticated than her childhood creation. This will take the whole building down. It'll erase me and every trace of you. No one ever has to know you were here. She presses a button. A timer starts counting down. We have 30 minutes. I don't want this. This isn't what I want. Yes, it is. I can help you. I know. Lacey turns her back to him and places a set of surgical tools in a neat row on a metal tray. She prepares for a procedure. Daniel fights the grogginess and gropes his restraints, searching for a weakness. His head swims. He starts to tip over the edge of the bed. Lacey catches him by the arm and props him upright again. It'll be a few minutes before you can walk. Don't push it. Daniel hears a clink, and the restraints drop from his wrists. He's free. He glances at the bomb. Don't. You'll just set it off. Then let's get out of here. Once I'm finished. She uncaps the first needle on the tray. It's a massive dose of her special drug cocktail. Daniel watches her inject it into her arm and lays back in the hospital bed. She lifts the scalpel next. She holds it just above her head, sternum, hand shaking. Stop. Stop. You don't have to. Daniel. Her quiet voice cuts him off like a slap. She looks into his eyes and tries to think of what to say. Lacey spends hours rehearsing this moment, choosing just the right words. Words like, now you'll be safe from me. Words like, I'm sorry for all this pain I've caused. Words like, don't let it all be for nothing. But now that she's here, words feel inadequate. Fuck it. She cuts an incision into her abdomen and from sternum to belly, breathing in short, quick gasps. Daniel gasps and closes his eyes. No, 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 no. Open your eyes. Open them. And Daniel slowly opens his eyes and stares at her. I'm watching. She peels the skin and clothes back to reveal a ribcage, then pulls the flaps of her open stomach apart, exposing her bowels. She pulls her intestines out and hand over hand, letting them fall into her lap. Lacey's gone bone white. She begins to lose consciousness, struggling to keep her eyes open. She reaches for the epinephrine syringe and injects it directly into her heart. Her eyes bulge and her pulse races. She grabs the bone saw with shaking hands and turns it on. She grinds the spinning blade into her face. This time, the pain jolts through her and she screams. But she doesn't pull it away. She slices her lip to ribbons, then pushes it higher through her forehead. Finally, she pushes it through the top of her skull, carving an ugly rift. With the last ounce of her strength, she reaches into her own head and pulls her skull apart. Brain matter squeezing through her fingers and out onto what's left of her face. I see what she's doing. It's an art piece. Inspiration for him, I bet you. That's just crazy. Blood falls into small staccato drops from Lacey's feet and disappears into the crimson pool below them. Her ruined face grins at Daniel in triumph. The quiet ticking of the bomb brings him back to reality. He grabs the animal carrier, then walks up the stairs and out of the hellhole. Daniel watches the house in his rearview mirror as he drives away. The explosion erases her forever. Daniel drives home with the carrier in his back seat. He glances at it through the rearview mirror, waiting for something, a sound, movement. In the safety of his apartment, he pulls it open. I bet you it's Jack. It has to be. Inside is Barnaby. Below it, a letter. He opens it, begins to read it. He can hear her voice speaking the words, her last words. As he reads, a look of confusion settles on his face, then disbelief. Finally, horror. He reaches into the box again. Medications, pills, syringes. Daniel reads and rereads the last line of Lacey's letter. Please keep him safe. Oh, jeez. And it was Jack. Epilogue. Showtime. The gallery is filled with sculptures. Each is a haunting mixture of violence, beauty, and form. Each and every one is a masterpiece. Vanessa gazes at a piece, moved to tears. Jesus, Danny. An awestruck patron whispers to her softly, Do you know him, the artist? Vanessa lights a cigarette and composes herself. Yeah, thought so, anyway. Is he here? She shrugs and turns back to the sculpture. The patron moves on. She sighs and takes a long drag. I need to get out more. Daniel sits in the back room nursing a drink. He finishes it off and stands to look at himself in the mirror. He unbuttons his shirt, slowly revealing his chest. It's scarred and twisted. It looks like he had a massive reconstruction surgery. Oh my goodness. He touches the center of the lump in his hand with his hand. An eye opens. Jack's eye. All right, showtime. Oh my goodness. Part of the lump curls back, revealing a set of smooth white teeth. Jack is smiling. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. What a game. What a game. Honestly, oh my God, what a game. It is so insane. Just everything. Everything started off simple enough, but it just got crazier as we went along. I think this is this is probably more terrifying than a horror film. Like, I don't think anybody could have ever made a movie like this. And I think they should at this point. But I think that it would be hard to get it out there because of how gruesome it is. But this is so intense of a game. But it's well done altogether. I can't say that I've enjoyed playing the game, but I was intrigued the entire time from start to finish. I just wanted to keep going. I didn't care if my throat was dry. I was just like, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. This is insane. And it's I can't even really put into words describe this game. Honestly, if you want to play this game, I'll put it in the description below. But wow, what a game, to say the least. So that's all I can say to that, honestly. There's nothing more I can really say to it. Out of all the scary games and horror games I've played, this was the most gruesome of it, you know? I could honestly say. I've played some fucked up games, but this is on another level of fucked up, honestly. So, I guess with that being said, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Drink plenty of water, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.